everyone, and welcome to episode 20 yet again of the Hall of Gamers podcast, because I forgot to hit record, but the video listeners won't see that. We're a weekly podcast where we talk about Xbox gamer score and more, and this week I'm joined by the animus-loving, bleeding effect sufferer, Cameron.
Hey.
How's your Assassin's Creed journey going there, mate?
All over the place. It's taking me through history.
I mean, you always said you wanted to be an archaeologist, right? And now you're living history.
Yeah, and this totally does not hold up to that. But saying that, it's probably more interesting compared to actually doing the real work of an archaeologist than just I pray bones or something. I don't know. Anyway.
I'm just thinking of that scene in Arrested Development where he's doing the thing and he has like the unearthing the skull and then he just hammers it with the... Anyway, that's the I love that shot. And we're also joined... I was... You didn't have to say that, Cameron. We knew. It wasn't... Yeah, there was no doubt. Yeah, exactly. We're also joined by a special guest tonight, the host of the amazingly chill XboxCast, Kyle.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, well, again, I'm doing very, very well.
Yeah, Take-Two seems to be going off to a better start. I must admit, it's always fun.
Yeah, well, we try to recapture the magic as much as possible. I remember when we used to do RGS and we could just do as many takes as we wanted to, and I used to do Song of the Week live, which was that was an absolute nightmare because it would always be like I'd get halfway through it and it would just, I'd have someone making a face at me or someone would trying to make me break.
Kirby, every single episode was.
Yeah. And because obviously we went on Twitch, he would just be like lifting his shirt up or like anything he could do to
changing the background.
Yeah, changing the background, anything to make me break during the intro and the Song of the Week. It's that is one of the benefits of doing it live is that I
Cameron behaves.
Exactly, yeah, because we get taken off Twitch if he doesn't.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those TOSs. Exactly.
Yeah, you only get a couple of strikes, right? But speaking of Song of the Week, Cameron's going to seamlessly transition us to a song that he probably knows. We don't need no random generation. We don't need no BioShock clone. No Dishonored rehash with some crafting. Plays nothing like what we were shown. Hey, compulsion, what the hell went wrong? All in all, you're just a 50-hour-long chore. All in all, I'm just gonna play you for gamer score.
All right, cool. I'm just going to say the hey was perfect in that.
Thanks. I tried to get that. That was...
It was just the right amount of awkward.
Oh, absolutely. It was supposed to be. That was very intentional. I did actually do a couple of takes of it, and I was like, you know what? That one just kind of, it's fine. It's fine. Without the music and the backing, it is very difficult, but should be an easy enough song. Kyle, I'm assuming you know it.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great song, and I think it does justice to the original. I think you should do like a greatest tour, like a greatest hits tour, and you could either open or end with that song.
Yeah.
It'll just be perfect.
Oh God. Okay, so yeah, Cameron, do you know what it is?
We Don't Need No Education by Lightish Red Floyd.
Okay, so that's first of all no. It's another Brick in the Wall Part 2. And it's Pink Floyd. Lightish Red, I will give you, is yes, they do call that pink. But yes. All right, yes, okay, that's... If you haven't gathered, I've been trying to make the songs a bit more themed, and this week I themed it after the one game that I've really been playing, which is We Happy Few, and I'm not very happy about it, unsurprisingly, but we'll get to that. But I think first we should probably talk to our guest here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's about time.
Kyle, you've been sitting there for a little bit, obviously, because we've been recording this whole thing.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Lee's sort of told us a little bit about the XboxCast, but I want to hear your take on it as well, because he could have been lying.
Yeah, no, don't trust him. He's an Englishman. I mean, yeah. what Mad Dog's an Englishman? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't trust them at all. Leave them alone. Basically, yeah. So we just hang out and do the Xbox cast. We talk nonsense managed to do it about 4 hours every Tuesday night on Twitch. Sometimes it goes a bit late, but yeah, we just chat nonsense. We typically cover news, new games, what we've been playing. And our motto is funny first, factual second. I mean, never let the facts get in the way of a good story, in our opinion. So we've kind of taken that to heart. We don't take ourselves too seriously. I mean, we're not achievement hunters like you guys, so we're just casual as, and we casual as in gaming, casual as in podcasting.
Oh, I don't know about that. You're saying casual. I mean, I've seen how competitive Simone gets with when it comes to some of the competitions and events that you guys do. She's like knives out. She's like, no. This is serious business. Simone
is the competitive one in all of us. She can competitive enough for everyone. so yeah, we just let her compete. Lee can also be competitive, I can tell you that. He's very competitive when certain things are on the line, and he's not above playing dirty.
That actually, from what I know of Lee, that does definitely sound like him.
Yeah, ask him, if you do ever chat to him again, ask him about the time he paid kids to win the Christmas decorations at work.
Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that one. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what we do. We just kind of chat Xbox nonsense. We talk laugh nonsense. If you've ever tuned into us, you'll typically hear us moaning about technology because we all work with computers, and so we often get sidetracked at the beginning of the podcast, just telling you about how terrible our days are and how printers are from the devil.
That's one of my favorite things about your guys' Discord. You guys have a Discord. Make sure you go and check that out. Is that where I get to jump on there and be like, hello, my fellow technical workers. What are we complaining about today? Because it's just like, good morning. And then it's like, good morning. And then someone's like, just some expletive about like how upset they are with an Excel sheet or something. And I'm just like, my people,
it makes you feel secure too, because you go in there and just like, hey, this is my homework for the week. It's like everybody else. Yeah, I got no idea. Cool. Everybody else is just winging it like I do.
Of course. That's the great truth of humanity, right? Is no one really grows up. They just get better at hiding it.
Yeah. You just pretend. That's it. You pretend to be an adult. Pretend to know what's going on. Google what you don't know. Tell everyone that was your idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally understand how this works. Google, how does petrol make cars go forward?
Yes. Stack Overflow is always on speed dial.
Oh yeah, no. Stack Overflow started advertising to me. You look very familiar. Please, just $1. The amount of info we've given you, surely just $1 is not too much to ask. I'm expecting them to start knocking at my door. Each time I Google something, someone will knock and just be like, "You're on Stack Overflow, aren't you?"
It's like them and the Duolingo owl, like the two ones that are always coming to get you. They're like, "Come on." It's like it was like, "Come on, we gotta learn." It's like learn your Spanish and then learn your coding language, otherwise you get legs broken.
Yeah, no, it's very threatening, isn't it?
Yeah.
I see Wikipedia is doing the same thing now.
It's that time of year where the 1/3 of the page is all, "Hey, have you thought about supporting us?"
Have you thought about the fact that we get $120 million a year, but for some reason have to ask for donations and also spend a lot of money? I'm not going to get into it, but I have some opinions about the Wikimedia Foundation. As much as I love the Wikipedia stuff itself. Well, tell us a little about yourself and your gaming history and how you got into video games and Xbox stuff and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I'm not an OG Xbox fan. I was always PC Master Race first. Got my first computer with Windows 95, playing Magic School Bus Explores the Solar System from like 6 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, so I could play before school back in those days. So yeah, that's where I got my gaming chops started. Then my friend gave me a not so legal copy of Duke Nukem 3D. And I mean, to a teenage boy, that's just, heroin. Here we go. Look at the pixels on the screen. That's not PG-13. So then it was all just open from there, kind of just, and working with Windows 95, you kind of have to massage games into working a bit. And I suppose that's why I'm now in the technology sector working with computers, because you kind of go, why doesn't this game work? And then you start diving and figuring it out. And I kind of just taught myself computers that way. It wasn't until 2009 when Final Fantasy 13 came onto the Xbox that I actually got my first Xbox 360. Because I've always been a Final Fantasy fan, but it's always been on PlayStation. So I've kind of always looked at Xbox going, it's really cool. And my mates had an original Xbox with a 20 gig hard drive, and he had lots of not so legal shows on there. And it was always like, this is incredible. It's like my computer, basically. And so Xbox has always just been in the background, but I've always been PC first, max out the PC, put as much hardware in as you can, add some lights, get a mouse that looks like an alien spaceship, put on a hat that glows all the colors of the rainbow, And then Xbox just slotted in and worked. And I go, wow, you turn it on, you play a game. You turn it off, you turn it on, you play a game. It's just, wow, where's all the stress? Where's my driver updates? Where's the resolution that's gone wrong? Where's the game that just stopped working because of some reason?
Where's the forum post where I've gone in to ask this question, but someone said, oh, no, don't worry, I solved it, but didn't put the actual solution in there.
I'm getting Age of Mythology flashbacks.
Yeah. And I remember getting Warcraft 3 for the first time. Warcraft 3's menu, if you didn't know, was in 1024 by 1024. And the monitor I had at the time was just below that resolution. And so that would play, and the cinematic would play because that was in 720p, and that was amazing. And I'd get to the menu and the screen would be black. And I'd go, oh, crap. And I suppose that experience happening more than once over periods of years just kind of wears away, and you start moving more and more towards just sit on the couch, turn the Xbox on, play games. So yeah, got my first 360 with Final Fantasy 13, hooked it up to the 17-inch TV back in the day. That was, as far as big backwards as it was across.
Mm-hmm.
Needed three people to move.
I was going to say 3 people to move it. Yep, I had the same TV.
Yep. So playing it on that, going, this is incredible. Look at these graphics. My computer can't do this. And then, made a lot of friends around Xbox just because it was simply easier. But I've always had a PC in the background. And then the Xbox One generation came out, and say what you will about it, but that pulled me more into the Xbox because I suddenly signed up to Xbox Live. Well, I was in a country that had Xbox Live for starters because I'd moved to New Zealand by then. Right. So playing online with friends, just jumping into a game and having 20 other randoms who want to kill me was amazing. I'm useless at this. And 20 other people headshot me immediately. This is great. I love it.
And I'm paying for it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm paying for it. I gotta love it, So yeah, the Xbox One generation really sold me on that. And then when we moved to Melbourne, along with the Series X, I kind of just moved away from computer gaming. I just gave up on computer gaming, going, the Series X is, in my mind, powerful enough for anything I throw at it for the next 7 years. I don't really need a computer. So now I'm 100% in the Xbox camp. My Steam library is crying at me. All those epic games runs on my laptop just so I could redeem the free games that I can never play.
I love that because the best thing about that Epic Games thing is that you're like, I was like, I feel a little bit bad about it because I'm just like, I never play the games. I just open it up. I never buy anything on the store. And you're like, I'm sure other people are buying it. And then their financials come out and they're like, yeah, we're just like losing like a heap of money because literally every single person who's used the service only uses it for the free games and doesn't buy anything.
And you almost feel bad for them. And then the Fortnite numbers come out. And you go, oh no, they'll be fine. For the next 100 years, just more skins, more colors, add another shade of pink, sell it for $100. People love it.
Put another Naruto character in there and he can fight with John Wick and people are just going to make money hand over fist, right?
It's incredible.
Mine is parents' credit cards are funding that entire economy.
Oh yeah,
that's fine by me.
Yeah, man.
Up until which stage I become the person paying for it.
Yeah, no, that stage is coming quick and fast for us, I think. We're going to be like, not another Fortnite skin playing on your iPad 17 on the the 21-inch iPad 17 with your mind meld helmet.
Oh yeah, it's like I said a couple of weeks ago. It's like my future goal is to basically be hooked up to some sort of tube machine where I'm just floating there and my brain plays all the games for me. It's the logical extension of like the Cronus and those auto clicker things. It's just like just hook it straight into my brain. I can do it while I sleep.
A worse version of the Matrix.
Yeah. It's like the Matrix except more microtransactions. It's actually like it's like the Matrix mixed with like Free Guy. Like that's what it would be. It's just getting advertised to all the time, and like everyone is Ryan Reynolds apparently.
And run by Facebook. I mean, the worst of all worlds. We're in the darkest timeline after all.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, we are definitely. Yeah, it'll be a metaverse, all right.
So yeah, that's basically my history. Now I'm stuck with the Xbox Series X, loving it, meeting all these cool people. getting to talk nonsense. People actually listen to my opinion about stuff. Who would have thought? I don't know.
It's great, right? It's like it's people and like people tell you you're wrong all the time, and I'm like, great, I love it. You listen to my podcast and like you were wrong about everything. You have no idea what you're doing. I listen to every single episode of your show, and every time you keep making these mistakes. And my usual takeaway is, I mean, hey, you listen to all 20 episodes. That's pretty good. Like, yeah, you want to join our Patreon? You know, like
when we get to the point that a podcast makes a podcast about us, that's when we know we're made it.
Yeah, then we've made it. Then exactly, yeah. We in response to. Yeah,
you just hope it's not one of those true crime podcasts. You know, it's like, where did Cameron go to, and what does Matt know?
Matt finally snapped.
40 episodes about Matt finally speaks about Cameron's disappearance. Only the sock puppet remains.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a Maximon challenge gone wrong. Yeah, exactly.
God.
Oh God! All right. Well, that's the usual stuff. By the way, Cameron, you have some questions here, don't you?
Yeah. So I just put some like little icebreakers in. If you could keep one game that isn't a Microsoft title in Game Pass permanently, what would you pick?
Oh man, asking the hard questions already.
Yeah.
It would probably be a toss-up of Frostpunk, because that game, I love that game to bits, and I'm sure it's going to disappear as soon as I get back into it.
That's why I got physical. It was on sale at eBay for $5.
And possibly, you know, okay, this is probably going to be a bit divisive, but Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Put that into Game Pass. Never let it leave. Charge me for the expansions. Please take my money. I will gladly throw my money at Microsoft or at CD Projekt Red for Cyberpunk to come to Game Pass and just never, ever leave. I
mean, it couldn't do any worse, right? Their financials came out this week, and whoo, boy, they took some real big hits. They did say that they're going to come out with the next gen version of that Q1 next year, and then the Witcher Series X version is going to come out Q2, I think.
I wasn't going to include that in here because I don't like to kick people when they're down, but...
what are you talking about? Whatever, it's fine. It came up in conversation naturally. I just want to, we're all about the negativity here, apparently. But yeah, apparently they're having a bit of a rough go of it. Who would have thought? Because,
I mean, you hype a game for 17 years, you release it pretty broken, and you go... Oh, what? Broken? No, it's not. No, la la la. Look, we're going on holiday.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay. We have a roadmap, not a roadmap of all the DLC and content and multiplayer stuff we want to do, but it's a roadmap of all the things we need to fix.
Yeah.
And we're a year in, and they're like, okay, most of it's fixed. Now we can start making all the money that we've missed out for the last year.
You know what?
All the expansions that we needed to do.
It'll be that's first year. Second year will be like, all right, we're adding this first DLC pack in. Everything's broken.
Yeah. Like, okay, so we lost the source code.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that. They did lose the source code.
Oh, seriously?
They've had some problems. Yeah,
those poor guys.
Yeah.
At some point, they're just going to grab the source code from The Witcher, put a skin on it with a mod, and be like, "Look, no, that's not a sword. That's a laser gun."
Yeah, exactly. Thing. It's like it's a gun that shoots swords. Yeah.
What was that ransom for? It was like 1 million.
With their whole hacking thing? Yeah, the whole ransomware thing? Yeah, that wasn't good.
I agree with your first pick, not so much with your second, to be honest.
That's fair.
Where's my Cyberpunk multiplayer?
That's coming. They said they're doing multiplayer for the games. Yeah. It might be a Witcher multiplayer. They talked about it in the conference call to their investors, being like, yeah, okay, they're like, okay, we haven't made any money. But it's like okay, it's like we made some money on the sale, on the original initial sales. Sales have dried up because no one's buying the game. Also, we spent all that money fixing the game. So we've got plans for new DLC next year, and then we're going to do multiplayer stuff and monetize that. So okay.
Yeah, fair enough. As soon as they can start putting patches out where they don't break the rain, that'll be a good start.
Yeah, the GTA got patched as well. It looks a little bit better, at least.
Yeah, you still need to play facing away from the screen for it to look any good, though, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to wait till, they get a 2.0 patch. Oh, thank you, Admiral. Admiral's has resubscribed to us. He's subscribed for 7 months. Thanks, mate. Ooh. Really appreciate it.
I think Adam was our longest subscriber.
He'd probably be one of our longest subscribers. Yeah, he's been throwing away his hard-earned money for a good while now.
And we've been an affiliate for like 7 months now. Jeez.
Yeah, pretty much. He's here from the beginning.
What was my next one? If you could merge any 2 games together, what would you pick?
Oh man, okay. Doom.
Yep.
Yeah, Doom 2016 for the music because it's too good. Gears 4 with Gears 5 multiplayer.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
But not the achievement list, right?
No.
I don't care about the achievements list. I just want to chop up some people.
Yeah.
And oh man, and then probably something along the lines of Journey to the Savage Planet with that type of extreme bright, happy colors, just crazy off the wall. Not so off the wall and trying to be funny as Borderlands.
Sure.
Literally funny like that game was.
That game was hilarious. I really like that game actually.
And there we go. A nice big match. So you got your awesome metal music playing, ripping up demons, just tearing everyone apart. It's going to be bright and colorful with lots of neon pink. And you're going to have a chainsaw lancer, just to slice people in half.
Get to the end of the game. You walk up to a mirror, dog looking back at you.
Yeah. You're a dog, and exactly. Yeah, you take off the visor, and it's just 3 dogs in a trench coat.
Which you then proceed to chainsaw.
Yeah, exactly. I'll play that. Yeah, I'm super keen on that. All right. Well, we should probably start getting into news then. What have you found for us this week, Cameron?
All right. So the first one, honestly, is a little bit of PlayStation news.
Okay. Let's just skip this.
Listen.
No. What are you doing?
PlayStation Australia has announced they're doing a PlayStation to Plate promotion, which kind of made me think of, I wonder what Xbox would do.
Okay.
So, just to go through it, there's 3 restaurants over. One's in Melbourne and 2 are in Sydney. And they're going to recreate dishes from Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Uncharted 4, and The Last of Us Part 2, which include Ellie's Steak Sandwich from The Last of Us.
Is that like a human burger or something?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the Soylent Green of sandwiches.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's apparently a very famous Sydney burger restaurant. I'm pretty sure these are all for 1 week only. The Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart has a honey mousse. And the Uncharted 4 has a thief's pasta. I thought it was a pretty cool idea, and it made me think this morning, well, what would we have if Xbox did this? I know
I was looking at this article and I was like, man, this is just they had some new dishes and they wanted a promotional thing. There's nothing about the video games in them.
Yeah.
They just slap the names on them. It's like the laziest marketing of all time. They're like, hey, we have a pasta dish, and PlayStation's like, hey, Uncharted. They're like, Uncharted. And you're like, what? They're like, Uncharted pasta. And then that was like that's all they could come up with on the whiteboard. They just had a circle around like it was just like Uncharted ideas and just pasta with a question mark.
You know what I should have done? I should have found out what the prices of these are too, because they're through the roof.
Man.
Of course they are. Yeah, it's just
They said they're going. I'm sure Nathan Drake went to Italy at some point, didn't he? In one of the games. I mean, there's been 7 now.
Yeah, Nathan Drake is well known for eating pasta off screen. We don't really talk about it, but he loves pasta.
Canon. It's on the wiki. It's canon. It's in probably an obscure anime episode that he just kind of crosses over with. Yeah, exactly. He's eating pasta. Magic.
It made me think this morning, like, what are your favorite video game mascots eating? What is their diets?
I mean, Master Chief's diet is probably some form of Covenant meat.
I was going to make it a game, so I was going to give a series.
Yeah, okay.
And you say what the main, the side, and drink is for each series.
Oh, Jesus, okay. I just want to point out that Alison said endless possibilities in the chat, so thank you for that joke. Exactly. That's
God, your relationship just is all puns, isn't it?
Oh, it's fucking bad. It's awful. Like it's fucking puns of steel over here,
I was also going to say, before we quickly jump into this little fun game, Yakuza did this exact same thing with I think it was like a $200 like really, really good big dish. Did just before COVID, maybe? It was like a prize.
So this kind of this kind of like promotional food stuff is a pretty common thing over in Japan. So they'll have a lot of like cafes that will do like limited time cafes for like anime and video games. So I remember they did a Resident Evil one where you get like certain drinks that were like different colors and different foods. I'm sure they had a Jill sandwich because they just can't get away from that. But it's like that. I was hearing about someone who went to like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Cafe. There was one for like Konosuba. They've done one in like a lot of the Sega games. So like Yakuza. It's pretty standard, but yeah, it's
I think Yakuza was Xbox ANZ though in Sydney.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Yeah, they have done ones over here as well. This is kind of, I guess, going to become one of the new things because it's very, very popular in Japan. It usually turns out that most of the food's shit, but it's really you really
thought
right. It's like promotional food. Like it's like I love being advertised to with stuff in my mouth.
I just want Age of Empires breakfast cereal. That's all I want.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wallalos, yeah, that's pretty good. Go. Okay, so
right.
you've got series.
All right, so straight off the bat, Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite. I mean, it's got to be some sort of burger with onion rings, right?
I'm thinking Moa burger because Moa's the bird in the game that looks like an ostrich.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, Moa burger, yeah, sure.
Like an ostrich burger.
Yeah. With it's got to be onion rings, right? That's the thing. Is that like it's a Halo?
All right, onion rings as a side. Yep.
Yep.
What drink?
Mountain Dew, obviously.
Yeah,
It's green. It's like
that's cod to me. Doritos and Mountain Dew is. Okay.
It's Halo. It's a Halo green, man. It's the thing. Is that like they just pour it over the burger as well because they're just like they'll just like you'll eat whatever.
Limited edition Mountain Dew. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's Rockstar in it at the moment doing the promos.
I don't even.
Anyway, Forza Horizon. I'll say Forza Horizon 5.
I guess you'd need to lean into the Mexico theme and go with some sort of burrito or something. I don't know. Is that racist?
I think.
Nachos
no, it's celebrating culture.
Really bright salad.
Yeah, it's like
it's gonna look as gross as the controller.
Yeah, exactly. It's the nachos with toy cars in it.
Chicken burrito, churros on the side.
Yeah, churros are okay.
And one of those Mexican cola drinks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could go for that. Yeah, well, the frozen margarita.
Yep. Oh, a frozen margarita. Yep. I'm not gonna turn my head to that. Wolfenstein. It's got to be schnitzel. It's got to be schnitzel, right?
I guess.
Schnitzel, yeah. German sausage.
And a stein of beer, I assume.
Stein of beer or a strawberry milkshake.
Strawberry. Okay. Strawberry milkshake actually is pretty thematic. Okay, yeah, we could go with that.
Gears of War.
No, you don't get fed in Gears of War. There's no food.
I was just thinking like one of those like 6 stacked cheeseburgers.
It's just massive patties on a very small bun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the patty's like this thick and the bun's like this thin. And you have
the Moa burger, but they drained out all the fat out of the Moa burgers that they did for the Halo one and put it onto these burgers instead.
They give you a very, very big steak knife for it, though. Just a mass, like a 2-hander one that you need to just cut into it with. And
then a little olive on the top.
Yeah.
So they all have very small heads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Minecraft. Cake for a side.
I mean, like Minecraft's kind of cheating. Minecraft's kind of cheating because it's like they just have regular stuff. It's just everything comes out in cube form. You get a cube
as long
burger.
as it's a cube, it's fine.
Yeah, you get a cube drink. You get a cube side. Even if it doesn't make sense as a cube, it's a cube. That's it.
Flight Simulator. Some shitty.
You just get an inline meal. They just
airplane food. Beef or chicken.
Exactly. Yeah. And part of the experience is you say chicken and they say, "Oh, we're out of chicken. You have to get beef." That's what.
Well, we're out of chicken. We've got fish or beef. You go, but why didn't you offer fish in the beginning?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like
keep it hidden there.
Yeah, exactly.
Fish. Doom.
Ooh. It's got to be like some like rack of ribs or something that's like
something that's really spicy though.
Something you got to
Hellfire.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but yeah, I get like something you need. So it either needs to be like ribs or like really spicy wings, like something you get fucking messy eating. Just like something you have to work for.
Big rack of ribs, just as spicy as can be.
Yeah,
and then what do you have extra fizzy on the side just to make that burn extra beautiful going
exactly.
down.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had spicy ribs before.
Ribs are great. Like spicy ribs, where it's at. You can,
Like I love ribs, but I don't think I've ever had spicy ribs. Age of Empires. It's got to be something like medieval.
Yeah, it's the turkey leg with a.
Yeah, the big Disneyland turkey.
Yeah,
leg.
Disneyland turkey leg with some mead. Yeah.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves.
Just grog.
Yeah, it's just 3 servings of rum. Yeah, it's just
a bottle of rum.
That's it. Yeah.
And Sunset Overdrive, which obviously is going to be the can of soda.
Yeah. Okay. So Overdrive is the drink. Yeah.
Yeah, Overdrive. That's it.
And then after you drink it, it doesn't really matter what else you have because you turn into a zombie.
Can of Overdrive is the entree, and then just human as the.
Exactly. It's like drink 2 cans, and suddenly exactly you've got whatever wait staff is nearby.
Free
Listen,
range,
we don't
stuff.
support cannibalism on this podcast. Unless it gets us views.
I don't support it, but I mean, you
live your life.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that in We Happy Few actually.
Don't support it, but if a plane goes down, a plane goes down.
I mean, people got to eat, right? People are always talking about how many acres of grass it takes to make a cow. It's like, you got to do the environmentally friendly bit.
Yeah, I know.
And eat the rich. They've got the fat reserves to really marvel the meat. Anyway, I think we've got massively off topic.
Nice little icebreaker though, just to get us really loosened up.
I'd be interested to get a review of some of these PlayStation meals. I imagine they're probably just going to be like, I was like, oh yeah, I went to a gastropub and paid $50.
All right. Next week when we do our episode, we'll just look up the 1-star reviews from these restaurants, and we'll just spend the entire first 20 minutes of the podcast doing that.
Beautiful. I'm super about it.
Now I came up with an entire Xbox or just an Xbox themed meal, mac and Cheevements.
Oh, see that's actually fucking brilliant. I don't even like mac and cheese, and I would still eat that. Like that's an amazing idea. Mac and Cheevements. Fuck.
Scan the QR code, get 1,000 gamer score.
Well, I feel like that just gives me more reason to show the mac and cheese pie off, just to piss people off.
You don't need that. That pie is an abomination. I was gonna say, was it you, Carlos, in the chat? You can't just wrap pastry around something and call it a pie.
I looked at it and I think I just got up and left the room. I didn't even exit Discord. I think I just pushed the chair back quietly and just left. And I think I walked out the apartment and just went for a walk for a bit, just going, who, why, what would possess you to do something like that?
And the next thing, Cameron was like, oh, I need to go back and get more of these pies because they're so good. And I'm just
they are the best pies in Australia.
No taste in food, no taste in video games, no taste in movies. At least he's consistent.
You just don't like the same things I do. That's fine.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, of course, because my opinion is the important one.
Please, other new podcast that comes up, please tell me everything you disagree with about Matt.
Yes, please. I would love to get into it because that's just great content.
Actually, I'll just ask CJ and the other top 3 in Australia to do that. That could be fun.
It's fine. I don't listen to these jackoffs. I didn't listen to CJ even when he was on the show. All right, Cameron, what else you got for us?
All right, so TA has been doing a 20 moments that defined Xbox over the last, 4 weeks? 3 weeks? I don't know. I thought we would just quickly go through them and just share our thoughts, whether you think they impacted Xbox as much as everybody else thinks so, or...
And if they impacted you as well.
Yeah. Or whether they left something off important to you, or whether... Yeah. You know where I'm going. And everybody that's in chat, feel free to jump in as well. Number 1, they had the Xbox reveal. I think that's pretty undisputable. You can't really complain about that one.
Good old having The Rock there, telling The Rock how great Bill Gates is. I wonder how much money he got for that.
Quite a bit, I imagine. It was a really interesting reveal going back because I wasn't an Xbox person until the 360 really. I owned an Xbox towards the end of its life cycle because I kind of wanted to collect the Infinity Stones and get all 3 consoles by that stage. But it's interesting going back and seeing the hype and all that sort of stuff and how because I was of the age where I was console wars was a big thing. I had a PlayStation 2, I would defend it to the death. But these days it's a bit different because you can just buy whatever console you want. I assume you could find them on the stores, but
Yeah. Yep.
Just the X shape of it too.
oh yeah, that because it was originally called like the Direct Xbox, right? That was their whole thing because DirectX is their
Directed, yeah.
Yeah, so it could be called Direct Xbox, and it just got shortened to Xbox, and they kind of stuck with it.
Not much else to say about the one. Halo is number 2, the perfect launch title.
Oh, yes.
I really don't dispute that. Love Halo CE, other than the level design.
Oh, I mean,
for a game that launched at that time, I can forgive it. But every
It's an
time
old
I'm in a party with Steven, it's just like I fucking hate this fucking. What's the fucking thing? I'm just like, they were recycling. They were using their assets. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's a limited drive space. Yeah, I mean, Halo was is what brought console shooters like into the modern day, right? Like it was the thing where it was like if you wanted to play a shooter, it used to be like Quake on PC, and there was nothing on consoles besides like GoldenEye and like that old style of like where it was like really ropey and like they didn't have the dual stick control thing down yet, and this was kind of like I remember like Halo was the thing that sold me on an Xbox. Like my next door neighbor had it, and then I went to for a sleepover at one of my mates' places like years, when I was like 10 or something, and he like set up the Xbox, and I was like, oh cool, I never played an Xbox before. And like just him and I played co-op on Halo, and I was like, this is like I've never played anything like this.
Like I've said about my Halo 3 experience before, like delivering wood to somebody and just go and like just hang out with this kid for like 10 minutes, and seeing that for the first time, I'm like, all right, I need to save all my pocket money and actually buy one of these consoles now. Because I'm like, in saying that, like I only ever had the single player experience back then. I never got to experience multiplayer games on a farm unless it was like by a LAN connection, and even then it was just COD Zombies. But number 3, Rare joins the Xbox family. I feel like this is a case of yes, you acquired Rare, shot it twice in the foot, and then went, hey, all right, now we can actually do something with you. I liked Rare Replay.
I mean, like Rare Replay is like fantastic, but the fact that they were like, they in hunting down Rare, they essentially crippled them. They were like, well, we want you, so we're gonna have to hobble you to make sure you don't get away. Yeah. I mean, it's like they're they're an important part of the Xbox Studio lineup, but they haven't put out a lot of great quality content since being acquired. I mean, like Sea of
Thieves is going to be the exception there, but even
yeah, exactly. Like even then, they had a bit of a rocky launch, and obviously, it's gotten to a place where people are really, really enjoying it. But it definitely wasn't the kind of game people were after when it first came out.
Was that biggest launch? That Disney DLC was like biggest launch up until Forza Horizon 5, yeah.
Oh, really? I have no idea.
Yeah, I also heard something similar. Was like massive amount of people jumped in, 24 million or something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, you put anything with Disney on it too, like it's gonna sell.
And Pirates of the Caribbean is a very well. Yes. Yeah, if you Toys to Life, not so good, but yeah. But like Disney are usually best when they're helping other they're producing content for other more capable people.
Yeah, when they're giving their content to others to do things with.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next up, we've got number 4, Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Carl said, yeah, that's hugely important. I mean, that was the first time I ever played like online with anyone in any real meaningful way. Just being like, oh wow, I can actually playing the original Gears of War and having like, oh, actually, I could play this co-op, or I could like find someone online to help me with the final boss at Insane because I can't do it.
I know, like we talked about this on RGS too. Like even Kirby wasn't social until we started all like jumping on and doing our own thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it wasn't hugely social. Although I mean, I had like my sort of friend groups and stuff because we played a lot of the same games. But
same, I just had like the few guys that did Halo with me originally and that. Number 5, Achievements. Pretty.
Never heard of them. I don't think they're that important. They probably could have just gotten rid of them, to be honest.
It kind of makes me think what your life would be in particular without Achievements.
Oh boy. Well, I wouldn't have started Neverwinter because I never would have met Kitty, and that would have gone very strangely indeed. man, actually thinking about it, it's like, okay, going back, I was like, okay, this wouldn't have happened, and because of that, this wouldn't have happened. Like the butterfly effect of that, probably like I'd probably be dead or something. Like I'm sure. Like that's.
There doesn't exist a reality when Matt doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Though, yeah, it's like I'm either number one in Oceania or I'm dead. Right. Those are really the two constants in this.
It's
universe.
a very different true crime podcast then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
God, imagine the reality where I'm doing a true crime podcast instead of the Xbox Achievement.
Just a ghost of me appearing every week. Yeah.
I don't know. Every time we say true crime, because I've been hunting down GameCube games, all I'm thinking of Streets of New York.
True crime, Streets of New York,
Yeah,
and Streets of LA.
and I can't get my mind off that. Anyway, Red Ring of Death. Could have gone without it.
I mean, yes, I did. They definitely could have gone without it, but I also think that kind of the fuck up on that scale was so huge.
Steadied the ship kind of.
It kind of was like kind of thing where it's like obviously getting those consoles out that early was what got them the advantage in the generation, but it really bit them, and it's why the Xbox One was so big when it came out, because they were like, we are going to put huge heat sinks on this to make sure that there's no chance of this overheating, basically. And they've kind of brought that back with the slimmer versions and with the series, but I think that I think it was definitely a good lesson for Microsoft for them to learn early.
Definitely. I mean, even back then, I was still a computer gamer, and even I'd heard of it. And you just go, that's a colossal mistake that someone's made.
Yep.
Sure, someone's lost their job over that, and they're probably blacklisted.
Well, it was like the failure rate was like 30% or something. Like it was crazy high.
Massive, yeah.
It's like what 1 in 3 Xboxes would red ring, and it's like that. Like, how did this thing get like? You hear about like corners being cut and things coming in hot, right? But like that's nuts.
Yeah, one of my mates in New Zealand, he was a big 360 fan, and him and his mate had spent all weekend trying to get up to wave 50 on Gears Horde on the first Gears. Mm-hmm. He got up to wave 50 started, Red Ring of Death. And that's when you just go, right, I'm just going to just walk away.
Yeah, it's like, before I break anything, I just need to just yeah.
See, this was around the time too. I'm hearing people like wrapping their consoles in wet towels and
wet towels and all the kind, like it was all the home remedy tricks and stuff. It was crazy. People were like, I've got this magical way of bringing the Xbox back from the dead. And I think I remember I was listening to a lot of podcasts back then as well, and one of the things they were talking about is that like it got so bad that when you went to the UPS to drop off because they would send you a box to put the Xbox in to replace it, the UPS guys would be like, oh, another 360, I guess, eh? And like they recognized that it was like that it was like, oh, just dead 360s, they come in every day. And it's like, Christ.
It's amazing.
So, I mean, it's a miracle that they recovered from that, to be honest.
That's the kind of move that could send you under.
Yeah.
Especially when a console usually launches as a loss leader.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But I think the thing is that I think that
Microsoft.
They had the bankroll for it, right? They were willing to invest behind it. They made good on it, and then they also had the sort of third party support in video games, and like everything else around the console was so good that it was basically they got away with it, not scot free, because I think it cost them like $1 billion by the end of it or something in replacements and reworks and that sort of stuff.
It was definitely good. It kind of pulled Microsoft out of the wild west of console building and their attitude towards the console, at least. And they kind of saw what a big market that they were messing up in. And I think when you kind of show people dollar signs going, look at how much dollars you're losing because you cut corners over here, people go, right, we need to seriously pull up our socks and do something about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it definitely helped corporatize the Xbox division and stop them being such cowboys.
Agreed.
I'm just reading Allison's comment. We may have, but honestly, I would I be with a guy without 1 million Kim score?
Fair. That's fair.
I like how we're just cultivating like a small community now of females that won't date unless they have 1 million gamer score.
That's the bare minimum. Charlotte's just like, no, she's not about it.
No.
It's very, very funny. That meme is one of my favorite memes.
See, that's why I got it locked down at 12,000 gamer score.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's the trick.
Big numbers. What was I going to say? It's interesting also to think about the fact that When was Sony's bad years? Like when were they really struggling?
Well, it would have been PlayStation 3 launch.
So if PS3 had a red ring of death situation, they probably could have.
Well, I don't know about that, but the thing is like Sony was having a rough time with the PS3 anyway. Like they also had some technical issues with the yellow light of death.
Oh, I'm talking outside just the gaming division.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Because wasn't there like a period of 4 or 5 years where just their TV's situation wasn't...
So TVs, there was because they owned Sony Ericsson, right? So like their phones basically just died. Like no one was buying them. It was, anyway.
It's amazing we even got to this point, if you think about it, of technology being as stable as it is.
Yeah.
It's like where people just didn't just give up and say, no, we're going back to stone tablets. Here's your stone tablet for the day. You need to carve on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it always just circles back to printers. Exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
Print some more stuff.
You need to fax this. You're like, oh, great.
Yeah. Oh no, don't talk about faxes. Getting PTSD here.
Have you ever had a customer come into your store and abuse you over the fact that you can't accept fax?
Oh man.
In
2019.
Do they pay with the fucking check? Like, Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
Like, well, I called you on my rotary phone, but no one picked up.
Oh, that's amazing.
I sent a telegram, but apparently
you didn't get it.
Oh, what? Those singing grams where people sing outside your window, the message? You sent one of those on the Hindenburg. Why did it not arrive?
Like the gyrocopter was out of commission, unfortunately. So,
God.
I
don't know what more I can add to that.
Alison has asked me to stop telling the Neverwinter ex-girlfriend story. I will, but I still like to complain about the fact that she is the reason I play Neverwinter, unfortunately.
You've just got to get him into the next big MMO.
Oh, God.
Come on, you and Alison can play an MMO together.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not. There is
I mean, did you know you could get married
in game?
Yeah, get married in Final Fantasy 14. Apparently, you like message the server people, and they give you their own instance, and then people RSVP in the game, and it's a whole big thing.
That's actually adorable. We do actually have a thing about Final Fantasy 14 a little later in the show.
Yes.
I thought we were just playing about it, not saying cute stuff. Anyway.
We'll complain about it. Anyway, Cameron, keep going.
Number 7, the new Xbox experience. So a lot has changed in the online gaming world since Xbox Live was first unleashed. It was time to update. So this was like, midway through the Xbox 360?
Yeah, it was their kind of big refresh after the Blades, the more dynamic sort of...
I never got the Blades.
Blades are cool. Like I'm looking back on it, they look very, very retro now. But it was a really cool idea because this, we've talked about it before, but the whole Blades thing was the first time you had like a menu to go through outside of the game. Because usually it was like you put the disc in and the game just boots up and that's it. But it's like, no, you can like move around and like look at your like options and like stats and like look at your friends list, and there was more to do basically, more to see, and they kind of made like a hub, and then they improved it. Well, people would agree or disagree that they changed it at least with the new experience, and then kind of the whole sort of box stuff, the box style they've done is kind of what the style they've used going forward for all of the generations.
Well, I know like at the end of the Xbox 360, that jumped to Xbox One, even though I appreciated having Connect and Snap and all that. A lot of features that they left behind just felt really shit for the longest time.
Yeah, the Xbox One launch was pretty rotten, to be honest.
Moving on, 8, the Rise of Connect. Back when Connect and 360 was all right.
It's fine. We don't need to talk about that. Connect's it's fine.
9, committing to Japan.
Yeah,
in the face of multiple failures to break into the Eastern market, Microsoft would have been forgiven for giving up and focusing its efforts closer to home. Commendably, it did not, and while still a growth sector, that persistence is starting to pay off at least.
None of that is true. None of that statement. All of that statement is false. Is that they basically did give up on it because they put a big push into it in 2007. They came up with like that with Mistwalker, with Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon, and a couple other
Dead or
Japanese
Alive
titles.
4, Ninja Gaiden 2.
Yeah, so like there was definitely a push for that, but then like it didn't take off, so they stopped. And like it makes sense until they buy Sega or whatever.
They're doing a big push at the moment though with the Series S over there, which is pretty good. And we've been getting a lot of Japanese-ish games coming out lately for this gen. So I don't know. I think Phil has some contacts over there, and he's been shaking hands and with some $20 bills in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's starting to pay off slowly.
It's making me think: is it more so that they're pushing for it, or is it more so the times have just changed and games are becoming more widely available than they are, and more easily accessible than they were?
I think it's a bit of column A, bit of column B, right? Like I think it's the I remember back when the PS2 came out, and that was kind of my big console. I had PlayStation 1 as my first console, but I was still a kid, and then the second one was where I was like, oh my god, games are amazing.
Oh my god, Burnout Free Takedown?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like that, and like Dark Chronicle and all kinds of stuff like that.
Still my favorite Christmas of all time.
Kingdom Hearts, amazing stuff. That was like, you had Western development, but like the East was where the cool games were coming out of. You're like stuff you'd never seen before. You're like, this is like console gaming was very, very Eastern focused in terms of like, you had a lot of JRPGs, you had a lot of fighting games, a lot of shooters, like all that kind of stuff before the, big Western RPG explosion on consoles. Obviously PC had like CRPGs like Baldur's Gate and that kind of stuff. And that was all kind of going on at the same time. And then the 360 the 360 PS3 kind of saw a bit more of a shift. 360 was like, okay, well, we're an American company, so we're going to do more Western stuff. We're going to be like a hub for Western gaming. Obviously, stuff's still going to be on the PlayStation, but we're going to be like, well, we're going to do like Gears of War. We're going to do Halo. We're going to do all this stuff and try and make it. We're going to be the place to play the gunmetal grade dogshit brown military shooter. Right, it's like every game that's like, okay, I'm a military man in a spec ops team. Sometimes I fight ghosts, sometimes it's aliens, sometimes it's just other people with a different skin color from me. Like it's just like there's a lot of different options, but it was essentially the same idea. And like that was what built the 360. I was like, oh, I'm playing like Rainbow Six Vegas, I'm playing Gears, I'm playing Halo, I'm playing Modern Warfare. And that kind of, there was a bit more of a balance. And then they were like, oh, actually, well, we want to get into the Japanese market. But the thing is, the Japanese market never wanted to get into the Western market. Like it was never an even trade. And then the PS4 and PS5, and now we're getting to the stage where it's like Sony's like, oh, okay, obviously we've made big pushes into those markets, like in Europe. Now we're releasing stuff for PC. As like traditionally it was like, well, so now the sort of Japanese influence is kind of, like you said, Cameron, it's sort of the times have changed and people are not less interested in it, but there's a wider variety of games. They're easier to get, and like things like Game Pass are like the perfect avenue because like Japanese games are now more niche. And like I really enjoy that niche. Like it's a niche that really appeals to me, but I still recognize that it's an even smaller niche than it ever has been. But for good reason, like but not because it's shrunk, but because everything else has grown.
See, I'm always confused about it because JRPGs are not achievement hunting friendly. And I usually find massive games like that, unless it's something that I have nostalgia, like that kind of connection with either Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts, I usually tend to avoid them unless they're highly recommended by a group of people.
Sure.
Just, they're too much of a time sink.
Oh, I agree.
Same time, Yakuza. Like, I love Yakuza.
Yeah, which is a very, very Japanese game and also a massive time sink, right? But it's like, Kyle, like you're a big fan of Scarlet Nexus, right?
Oh yeah, I love it to absolute bits. It's probably the best game I played all year.
And it's very, very Japanese, right? Like it's anime as hell, right?
Oh yeah, completely. I mean, the character conversations are just straight out of anime where they make no sense at all. And suddenly one person wants to kill someone else and then no, it's okay, we're friends again. And you go, I've been watching the whole time. What changed?
Did I blink? What? Yeah.
Yeah. The guy's like, I'm sorry, I wanted to kill you. Okay, cool. Let's go for a drink. Wait a minute. There's something that's gone on here.
There's plot and then there's Japanese plot. And there's a very big distinction between those two things.
I can see it. Yeah. It's been on my, actually, maybe I'll start that actually. I've been looking for something new to play.
Highly
it's got a TV series as well,
Nexus.
doesn't it?
Yeah. So I was going to watch it, but I was like, I think it's based on the game. So I'm like, I kind of want to play the game first and see,
I was thinking the exact same thing. And I was just like, probably should hold off for a little bit. All right. Moving along. Number 10, the Xbox One U-turn. The early days of revealing Xbox One to the world were the dark days indeed for Microsoft. Geez, how long did tip of my tongue, what's his name?
Don Matrick.
How long did he last after the launch?
Not very long at all.
Less than 6 months?
Yeah, he was gone about a year after. Yeah, he went to Zynga.
So
Yeah.
yeah, online
Amazing
plans
launch to
for the
watch.
console to be an always online entertainment hub, scrapped after outcry from fans and media alike. But was it too late to save the one? Question mark.
The answer is yes. They were already on the back foot, and like it was so bad that I was considering quitting. Like that was where I was like I wasn't going to pick it up. I was going to be like I'm not going to buy this console. Like I'll stick with the 360. I'll squeeze everything I can out of it, and then I'll maybe I'll buy a PlayStation, because I was like, you know, like I wasn't going to support those business practices. And the ironic thing is that they basically got there in the end anyway, right? Like that's pretty much where we are now.
They were too early with the idea. That's all it was.
It's typical Microsoft. They have the tech and they're always 5 or 6 years too early for the market. Like we've seen it with their tablets where they're trying to sell Windows XP tablets.
Yep,
and then suddenly the iPad came out and people go, look at this new device. It's called a tablet. Microsoft just kind of cries in the corner. The always online, the digital sharing stuff like that they were trying to sell with the one, you're doing now on the 360 with the My Home Xbox thing. And the ideas they had, I could really get behind at the time. But the whole presentation where he kind of stood there going, TV, 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 yell at your TV, talk to your TV, look at your TV, love the TV, look at the TV again, wave at the TV, dance in front of the TV. Oh, look, it can sometimes play games, but TV, 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 and sports.
Yep. And then it was like also $100 more expensive.
Yeah.
They were just like,
here's a camera that's always watching you. Never mind those documents from Edward Snowden. No one knows who those are. That's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, we basically couldn't have gone any more wrong, really, to be honest, with the way they pitched it.
I always find it funny though, because that conference made me go out and put a deposit down on an Xbox One. And I don't know. Listen.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Going from a farm where I had a dial-up connection for all my teenage years to moving out, getting a job at a bank, having disposable income and all that, and then going like, PlayStation really doesn't have anything for me. I don't want to jump to PC even though all my friends are doing it. I'm going to keep on going with console gaming. I'm going to go with this. And I love Snap. Snap was the best feature at the start of that generation. And like fond memories of Sunset Overdrive and Timefall, especially around... They would have both launched 2014, yeah?
Yeah, it would have been Sunset for sure. Yeah.
Like I've only problem I had with 2013 was the launch games. There was not a lot to go by.
I mean, that's all launches of all consoles ever.
Rise was pretty good though.
Rise was amazing. I love Rise.
It's a decent game. I mean, it was filled with microtransactions, but
very pretty.
It's very pretty.
My first experience to next gen at that stage was Forza Motorsport 5. Which looked gorgeous at that time.
Yep.
It was Dead Rising 3, which I'd never played Dead Rising before, so I immediately was hooked on that until the DLCs came out. And I hated the DLCs.
You need to go back and do them, mate. They're not that bad.
Yeah, I need to. And then just... What was the other one? And FIFA 14, which cemented my hate for bloody EA. I had a ticket open... for them to fix fucking Ultimate Team in FIFA 14 for like 3 years before they closed it.
They're like, FIFA 14's closed now.
It's too hard.
We've moved on. You should too.
Buy the new one.
Buy the Xbox Series X version. There's nothing you can do about it though
when it's like a free code bundled in with the console. Like it's like...
No, yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's free. Just like, well, it's free. Like, what do you want us to do about it? It's just like, this is my new tag. I'm getting achievements and all that now. And that's why I've never worried about completions.
So it all started with FIFA.
It's all EA's fault.
Usually is.
The one thing about the one that I did like was particularly the Kinect and the technology that they did put into it. So especially with Dead Rising 3, don't make noise because the zombies can hear you. Then they also had the companion apps where you could get the app, especially with Dead Rising 3, you could get the app on your phone. And when the phone would ring in game, your physical phone would ring, and then you'd answer it and like send voicemails and stuff on it. That to me was really immersive.
I'm just getting
that type of stuff.
Glass.
Yes, smart glass flashbacks. Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? It's like, yeah, they did a lot of interesting tech stuff and a lot of like cool things.
Yeah, a lot of experimentation.
Yeah, which was like really great, but just none of it paid off, right? Like none of it turned into experiences that people were really invested in, or really improved games in a way that people were willing to go out and actually do these things.
Yeah, and I remember them trying to sell The Division, the first one, where someone had a tablet and you could use the tablet that was flying a drone to see where the enemies were and all the rest. Yeah. And then that came out and they just never mentioned it again.
No, just like
what tablet? We didn't mention any tablet. What's going on?
Quick, pull all the videos down.
What was your favorite year out of the Xbox One generation?
Probably 2015 when I got one.
I was thinking 2015 only because of the backwards compatibility announcement.
Halo 5 was there as well, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but like
Halo 5, like in terms of gameplay and all that, is amazing.
Cool game.
But it's just a shit story. That's the only problem.
Story's a big problem, yeah. But like the thing is like achievement hunting on the Xbox One is a blur at this point because I played so much on it that I've just like it's like when you talk to Keith Richards about the early days of the Stones. It's like drugs. What are you gonna like? No idea. It's like all a blur. I woke up surrounded by women and drugs, and then I went up. I got up and I realized I had to play on the show in 5 minutes. I was like, oh, cool, okay. What song are we playing? I don't know. We'll just play something.
Oh, amazing.
God. Moving along, number 11.
Well, games. Cameron, no. What was your favorite year? Oh, you said the 2015.
2015 because of the backwards As soon as I saw backwards compatibility, that was such a fucking tease at the start too because I thought Banjo Remaster was coming. Fucking every year since, I'm just like, they'll do it one year.
They'll do it eventually. They have to.
I honestly thought they just bought Rare to kill those mascots off.
I was going to say, maybe when they bring Everwild out, whenever that eventually becomes...
Conker and Banjo are just like...
yeah.
Just descending into the ground. 2015 was probably my favorite year just because just having 360 games... Like, a lot of my early years before that was playing regional multiplayer esports, and that was the only multiplayer experience I have is basically like... All right, I'm going up against my friends. I have to learn and adapt to these kinds of situations. And it was never just for fun. It was always competitive. Single player was my feel. And for whatever crazy reason, I played Nuts and Bolts as one of the first games too. But I think like just these days though, especially ever since Game Pass has come out, like I don't think there's ever going to be a situation that kind of takes gaming to the next level for me anymore.
We'll see. Yeah. I think Game Pass has changed the way games are both made and sold, right? And hopefully we'll continue to do
Game
so.
Pass and the quick resume, like just my two favorite things in video games. Because it's like I have a crazy library that, to the point now, I don't even have to install a game. I can just trial the game for 5 minutes, even though the internet connection might be shit here. I can try something for 5 minutes, get a feel for it, and then go, all right, is this for me? Maybe not. All right, I'm not going to download it. And then just, decide based off that. But talking about things that we probably are going to see go away, Games of Gold.
Yeah, I don't think that's that important. I think it's kind of an interesting idea to give people free stuff. And like, I'm glad that they did it originally, but if it died off, I wouldn't really, wouldn't.
Yeah, just roll gold into Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, exactly.
Done and done.
I wouldn't be surprised if it does close down there, like next year. Just checking the Game Pass games that are being added for like this month compared to like things leaving. If they're putting all their money into Game Pass, then I mean, who can blame them? And at the same time, like these games, gold, you're permanently going to have access to those games. With Game Pass, you're going to get to the point where it's like 12-month contract. Games leaving. Oh man, I really like this title. I'm going to pick it up for the sale. Yeah.
Exactly.
Number 12, Fall of Connect.
Yeah, again, like
same thing.
Like we talked about, there's not really,
13, Mojang acquisition.
Yeah, I mean it's important, but I don't really personally care. Like
I don't think it's important for Xbox as much as it's important for Microsoft.
Yeah. I guess from a licensing perspective, like the amount of money that they probably make on like Minecraft merch and that kind of stuff must be huge.
Yeah,
They pay
Microsoft
like $1 billion for it.
Pulling. I think every quarter it's pulling over $1 billion in profit, just for Microsoft, just alone. So it was expensive at the time, but it was such a good buy for Microsoft as a whole. Not much for Xbox, but definitely for Microsoft. And it is helping people see the Xbox Studios thing whenever they boot into Minecraft on their Switch, on their PlayStation. Oh, Xbox Studios make Minecraft. Oh, yeah. What else do they make? And then 2 years later, they're sitting with an Xbox.
Sure, that's true.
It's a very clever marketing strategy that's earning them money hand over fist at the moment. So very clever of them.
Now, apply the exact same thing you just said to MLB The Show, and I'll have a PlayStation 5 in a few years.
How much do you like baseball?
I'm just trying to think. Minecraft movie, when that's coming out.
What? Oh, that's I completely forgot about that.
Minecraft movie.
All right. Well, I guess we'll watch that for like.
Steve will be voiced by Chris Pratt.
Of course he fucking will. Yeah, but he'll be doing a slightly racist Italian accent. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Number 14. Honestly, backwards compatibility.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
One of my favorites. Number 15. Xbox Elite wireless controller.
Yeah, I mean, I like those things break so often that I'm
I'm kind of like, I love the Series controller now, but like, I mean,
those Elites were just beautiful though.
Yeah,
they're great. They look amazing, and like they apparently play really, really well. But there's the build quality on something that costs $300 is just.
Yeah, I got mine with my Elite console, and I've only just retired it now when I got my Xbox 20 Series controller, and it's been going pretty well. Apart from, of course, now the vibration motor sounds like a cat going to the toilet through a sewn up bum. So it's kind of dying, but I blame Forza Horizon 3 for that.
Fair. I could see that.
Xbox Game Pass for number 16, which I think is honestly the biggest changer.
Yeah, that's the biggest industry changer ever, I think.
Like, it'll be interesting to see when Nintendo and Sony actually catch up with that kind of stuff and offer something
if they do
compare. Yeah, if
they do. I don't see Nintendo doing it anytime soon. They don't need to, is the thing.
Yeah,
Nintendo will focus on first party. And then...
God, like the amount of money, like the big Black Friday sales for was like the Switch was one of the biggest selling consoles, boxed in with was it Mario Kart 8, which is like an ancient game now. It was on the Wii U originally. Like, it's insane. They were just like, oh, we'll just keep selling it because people just keep buying it.
I was watching, like, the thing is, like, Nintendo was that family console. Like, people buy it for that, and like having that, like, I can't think of any better game than Mario Party or Mario Kart to chuck in with the Switch for being the first game that you get with a new console.
100%, and like that was kind of what Microsoft was going with the Kinect, right? They wanted to try and get into that motion control family market, and it just didn't pay off. I mean, it worked a little bit, but just didn't have legs.
And adding Mario Kart to the bundle is great because you go, I need to pick up an extra 2 controllers now or some more Joy-Cons.
Yeah, exactly.
So suddenly you go, you're not just buying the Switch, you're buying the Switch and 8 more Joy-Cons. And so Nintendo go, yeah, we'll charge you $80 a Joy-Con.
They're so expensive. Oh my God.
and even then, like, it's still the same. Even if you're just buying it for you and your partner, you've got 2 controllers already.
Yep.
For an experience like that. Like, it kind of adapts to every kind of family situation that you have.
Yeah, I bought that console for Allison, that exact bundle a few years back for a Black Friday sale. And I was like, because it was a no-brainer.
I mean, I bought the game. So I got the GameCube yesterday. Yeah, I walked in the door. Guess who's standing in the front door? Who never is ever there at the front of the door. She's always in her office when I walk in. I'm like, there was a 1% chance of this happening. And then she just looks at it and just eyes immediately like blow up stars. I'm just like, all right, cool. Well, I know I haven't fucked up. And she just felt like, I'm sorry. You can have like one of your presents. No, it's fine. And I just played Tony Hawk 4 for like a while. It was good. Brought back memories.
I mean, like, I love the GameCube. GameCube was an amazing console, but like when you started talking about buying them and talking about the prices of games, I went and looked on Trade Me. I was like, oh look, was it Pokemon DX or whatever it was? I was like $300, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I saw a copy for 500. And I'm like, yeah, nah.
Jesus. And it's like one guy selling them because he has the same type of photos and everything, and he's like selling every GameCube game you've ever seen, but individually for like $50 each. Even like licensed, like even one of them was like one of the really bad James Bond games. It was like, no, $50. $50 is the minimum how much you're paying for this game.
It reminded me that Rogue Agent was a thing yesterday.
Oh,
the bad GoldenEye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And boy, I'm tempted to just chuck $30 down just to play that again.
Mate, where are you getting all this money? Like, you selling organs or something, mate? What are you doing?
Just trading in EV games.
Aren't you supposed to be getting achievements or something?
Yeah, exactly. What are you talking about GameCube stuff for?
I mean, like, achievements or nostalgia. Like, it's a hard line. But, anyway. Number 17, champion accessibility.
Yeah.
One of the most important features, not for probably us, but
Sure.
for select people out there.
Mm-hmm. And it's
that accessibility controller, that big white one, that is an incredible piece of tech. I saw a take apart or a takedown or whatever you call it on YouTube, where they actually go into how it works and all the rest. And it's such a forward thinking piece of tech that's just done really well. And the fact that it can plug into anything, doesn't really care. I mean, PlayStation, Switch, PC, you can plug it into your toaster and get accessible toast. It's great.
I love toast. I like it when my toast is accessible. That's like a great deal.
It kind of makes me think, like, I'm really surprised an Achievement Hunter hasn't gone out and tried to utilize this for...
I'm sure they have. They just haven't publicized it yet. But we'll see. I mean, to be fair, like, if you're big into achievement hunting, you can achieve a lot of that stuff with a macro or with like, there are other ways around it. But I'm glad that Microsoft are making those steps for that kind of thing.
Definitely. Number 18, Xbox Cloud Gaming.
I wouldn't know. I don't
feel like this comment has just knife in the back twisted.
Yep, just twist it. Yep.
It's really good when you get it. It's actually quite amazing.
Yep. I'm going. That's.
I don't think the internet connection's right there yet, especially with an Australian ecosystem. If you're outside the.
Actually, yeah, we definitely do not want to be calling over to Australia for that stuff.
Yeah, but even though the Australian internet here is really bad, the cloud gaming's really good. And as someone who works with tech and hardware and gets excited about chips and all the rest, the actual tech behind the game streaming stuff gets me so excited for the future, because essentially you're going to have a box that's, the promise that they had with Crackdown 3, offload to the cloud and stuff in the cloud, and the cloud does magic, and then the magic gets sent back to the Xbox, and it's not actually processing, so the Xbox is a million teraflop box.
See, the problem is you had me up until you said Crackdown 3.
Well, that was kind of the dream, right? That was like on live. Like, we've had this kind of stuff before in terms of like cloud streaming consoles or services. And this is the first time we've seen it really, really take off. I'm looking forward. Yeah, like I totally agree. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with it. But I think the thing that Microsoft has always been very clear about is that the console, they believe that the in-console, on the console downloaded experience is the best way to play through it, preferably through Game Pass. That's the bread and butter. And if cloud gaming is a nice to have, but it was never going to replace that, at least not for the next few years, because of like infrastructure in places that don't have it, because of internet speeds in even places in Australia, and the always online nature of it. But I'm also very, very excited just to see what they can do with it. And eventually, like they've said, it's going to be like, you won't even get the box. You basically just Bluetooth your controller to your TV, because your TV will have the app built in, and they can just access it through there.
Yeah, it'll be great. And did you see the report that came out today, where 20%, up to 30% of all xCloud gamers are using touch controls exclusively?
Really? I didn't see that. That's incredible.
That's amazing. So the xCloud, it's not really for us as gamers, because we're always going to run out and buy the hardware and take photos with the hardware, selfie with the new Xbox, But for people in Asia, where all they do is they get a phone, that's where they're pushing. And that, I think, is probably helping Xbox get into the Japanese Asian market, is this xCloud. But even though the tech is there, it's going to have knock-on effects for us over here. I'm just waiting for the day where you can play a game while it downloads in the background and it seamlessly switches across to the installed version. You notice a little flicker of clarity and you just carry on playing like nothing happened.
That's the dream.
Honestly, probably not that far off it either.
No, not really.
I can't think of like what else to ask for features in that.
No.
Other than achievement updates, but
as always, although there is the talks that might be happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're talking about this a while ago as well. weren't
Yeah.
they?
I mean, they always talk about it from time to time. It's whether they actually do something about it.
They just have to get people excited. They just remind them, oh yeah, we remember achievements. 5 years go by with nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I swear to God, if they don't ask the achievement community for input. Anyway, number 19, Xbox Series X and S. I mean,
strong launch. Good console. Still not enough software to justify buying it, but I think that the features it have are really good.
I mean, this is also the first generation though where we've had backwards compatibility. We already have an existing library to
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's less of a it's more of a, well, I don't want to say half step, but it's more of an incremental upgrade.
Yeah, like it's a it's a hardware upgrade, not a next generation experience.
Yeah, which is kind of like, it's disappointing in a lot of ways, but it's kind of it is what it is. It's just kind of how it is these days.
It's equivalent of buying the next step up from like the Xbox One X.
Kind of, yeah. That's what I say, like a half step, or it's like when you upgrade your PC and your games run a bit better.
And I also think the Series X and S don't reveal, but they triggered like a mentality shift for Microsoft, where Microsoft suddenly cared about your library of games and moving forward. And also them, when the original Xbox launched, they always said they wanted to have the most powerful hardware. That was their sort of, the Halo experience that they wanted. And the Series X is definitely getting back to Microsoft's roots of, we want to have the most powerful hardware. We want to look after your game library. We want to basically cater to the players. And I definitely see the Series X being the shift within Microsoft itself as a big company for them doing that. Like, it's the physical representation of that shift in thinking.
And they also gone back to their roots of putting out the least stylistic box of all time and basically putting antimatter in it to make it, weigh more than anything on Earth.
As long as it works, I'm happy.
I mean, it works. Like, it's great. Like, I love it. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the monolith. Like, it's fantastic, but it is still just like,
I kind of want more companies like coming out with like wraparound designs and that just
that would be cool. That would, like,
up.
some cool art style and stuff would be really great for that.
Gotta just quickly say, like, Series S too is an amazing console. Like, when I was traveling back and forth to my parents' place, like, fucking having that, putting 100 Game Pass games on it, like, just 1 gig games, and then playing stuff like Dead Cells and that, just an amazing experience.
Yeah, and like it was the biggest seller for Black Friday as well. Like, it was doing hugely well, because it's at that right price point, right? So that sort of entry level into gaming, that's still like powerful stuff that you wouldn't see on like a Switch.
They were bundling it with Fortnite too.
Oh, that helps. that definitely
Fortnite
helps.
skins and all that. So it was like, I saw it. I'm like, all right, I can understand the marketing reason behind this.
Yeah, so it's a Fortnite skins with a free console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mum's just going to see it and go, oh, Fortnite, this is the thing that my kid
this is what little Timmy plays.
Yeah.
He'll love this.
What Simone, we're talking about Fortnite, everybody's favorites.
Dancing Simulator.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But like,
bring back Dance
concert
Central,
person.
goddammit. Number 20, Bethesda joins Xbox.
Yeah, that is massive considering how much they paid for them. I mean, I hope they really get some good stuff out of it, but we're still yet to see, right?
I think we will be spoiled of RPGs for years to come.
Good, because I love those games.
I think it's already paying off. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about just picking up even just a Series S just for Starfield, because people they're aware of Skyrim. Skyrim was the big hit for Bethesda, and that kind of pulled a lot of people in. And then they go, oh yeah, and here's our next big one that we're building with all of Microsoft's money, and it's only on Xbox. And so suddenly everyone goes, oh yeah, okay, crap, it's time to buy an Xbox.
Oh look, here's one for cheap. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, here's one, $2.99, almost impulse territory, almost.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, and I think that obviously, it's also worth it to spend that money just to piss the Sony ponies off, really. The amount of money they make selling the salt from the tiers would pay for that easy.
I still love when we were part of GPN, when I had talked to Mike one day, and I'm just like, all right, this whole thing about Sony ponies getting really pissed off about Starfield, I need to do something about it. So I sent him a message. I'm just like, I'm not on my computer right now, but if you can just put like a graphic out that says Xbox exclusive all over it and just post that for me, that would be great. I think it was one of their best posts.
That's brilliant.
Gold.
I love it.
I mean, yeah, sure. They're going to spend how much on it, and you're still
7.8 billion. Yeah, and they were just like, no, we'll give the games to everyone. Yeah,
but Minecraft's on PlayStation. Yeah. That's right.
That was only one. That was only $1 billion. Yeah.
For $1 billion, you can have our game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
for
looking forward to
$7 billion,
Starfield. Yeah, it's like that's the cutoff. They were like, no. It's like,
$6 billion. No, we keep that. Anything under, no, you guys can have.
Yeah, you can
That's
have
pocket change.
But God, like Avowed and Starfield. Like Starfield, I'm just curious about more than anything. Avowed, I'll definitely play like day one. Even like next month. Who's the gunk made by?
The guys who make SteamWorld.
Like even that looks great too.
Didn't it just get added today to Game Pass or something?
I thought it was December 13th.
Oh,
I thought it was a few days after Infinite.
Oh, maybe it is. Okay,
because I'm going to I need to get through Halo Infinite, like Legendary Campaign as quickly as possible, and then jump onto the gunk.
Yeah, maybe it's... Actually, I think maybe the achievement list just got added today because I saw it.
Yeah, the achievement list did get added today.
I was just looking on TA today. So.
Yeah, because like with the Bethesda acquisition, it kind of makes me think of like the Xbox 360 being the home of so many good RPGs and having that kind of experience again for the Series X.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'm like, I want to get back. Like, I want to play Tales of Arise and that kind of stuff. Like, I'm very, very excited.
Oh man,
so
I'm hanging out for Tales.
So tempted.
Yeah, like, and it's like you have that with that stuff, and then you have like, you have the Western RPGs, and I'm just like, I'm gonna play like 5 games.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna die.
And none of them are gonna be MMOs, and I'm still not gonna have any time.
I can understand why all these top achievement hunters are like bowing out of 3 million now just so.
They're like Starfield's coming out.
Starfield's coming out, yeah.
Starfield's coming out. I should probably I might do a Miyazaki retirement, and then come back and do another movie.
Before we move on, quick.
Yes.
So these are the 20 moments that define Xbox, but anyone that is off this list, that's your personal defining moment for Xbox, something that like you'll remember forever.
I mean,
are we saying for good or bad? That's gonna be
just
could be either.
Defining. Yeah. I guess like the first 100,000 is probably the most important for me. Because that was the moment where I was like, this is going to be a thing. This is going to be a thing that I do. Because I got to like 900, I got to like to 90,000 or whatever, and I was like, maybe I should hit like 100,000 like on the dot. Like I want to make sure I'll finish the game at the same time and hit it on the dot. And like so I manipulated it to make sure that I had exactly 1,000 points left to go. I played Destroy Humans 3 Path of the Furon. And I got the 100,000 and I was like, this is something I'm going to do. This is something I'm dedicated to. And here we are, nearly 1 point.
This is my life now.
Exactly. That's, basically.
Can you list all 18 games?
Okay. I don't know if I'll do them in order, but I'll do what I can.
All right. Cool.
Destroy Humans 3, Hannah Montana, A-Train HX, Zoids is in there somewhere. Oh boy. Oh, I'm already struggling. My Horse and Me.
Driver's Essentials.
Yep. Driving Essentials. Yep. Octodad 2, Deadliest Catch,
That's
which is one of the
game.
No, it's not, but it's a hilarious game. Leisure Suit Larry Box Office Bust. Oh, down. No, okay, I'm at 8.
Such memorable experiences, eh?
Oh, I'm struggling. This is damn it. I need to look at this thing. Oh no, my million, of course. Dive Kick. Dive Kick for my million. And then I think there was what was the weird one with Elijah Wood in it? The Ubisoft.
The like really trippy, like really short experience.
The virtual.
I know the one you're talking about. I can't think of the name right now because it's such a quick. Like it's a 0 to 1 hour.
Transference.
That's it.
Yeah.
I always forget that's got Elijah Wood in it.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. Mr. Masagi. I'm just looking at them now. Mickey Mr. Masagi Mayo Edition. Strike Force 2, the stealth kayak game with no stealth kayak. Post-war Dreams, Late Shift. There's a the Cartoon Network Brawler game that they came up with years ago, and then Reagan Gorbachev, which is a very strange game where you play either Reagan or Gorbachev, who are at I think they're at they're in the Pentagon and it gets invaded by terrorists, and you have to fight your way out with katanas and machine guns.
Sounds amazing.
It's amazing.
This is making me think of like Saints Row,
kind of that level of just
intro.
Yeah, that kind of level of ridiculous. It's like a top-down like twin stick shooter, so it's quite basic, but it's ridiculous. Oh, and there was that terrible Wix game that Alex recommended, that Winx Club.
Oh
yeah. So yeah, and then of course most recently a Unicorn Princess, of course.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, Kyle, just for audio listeners, Kyle said before in chat, list all the drugs you took to get here into rehab.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, okay, it's like so you got to do the 12 steps, but there's 18 of them this time. Yeah, but so like obviously those are all memorable moments for me because I like that's the thing, and then like trying to like those are the milestones that I really care about. Like obviously I've hit heaps of other ones in terms of like number of games completed, achievements hit. Like I'm at I'll be at like 2,000 games played with it. Whatever the next game I play is, and like 1,787 completed. So
I've got 2. Halo MCC stands out to me just because of how poor it was
100%.
at launch. Mm-hmm. Like I remember trying to do the more final level of Halo CE so many times on Lasso, getting up to the elevator and then having the grand crash. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much like, as soon as you get past that, you're dealing with just driving the Warthog. It's not that bad, but just to get up to the elevator and crash, horrible. And then Destiny. Destiny was probably the first game that I completed that made me feel like I had one of the best completions I've ever did. I still have like a fond memory of doing the raid, doing the flawless raid in a group of 3 when it was like just Crota. It was easy, but it's just, I remember that first time we did it, he got hit, like he got it up to like 1 hit left, and then he got killed, and then we had to do a second run because we were just like, all right, well, fucking, we got this close, we're gonna give it another go, and we got it second try.
Okay, well that's good at least.
That's awesome.
But
what about you, Kyle? Do you have anything?
Well, for me, it was with the Series X launch, when Series X, or when Microsoft and Sony were doing the standoff about release dates and prices and all the rest. Mm-hmm. We had just settled down to do our podcast, and we were doing, I think, new news, Leah and myself. And I just so happened to, in a lull in the conversation, jump on Twitter. And as I jumped on Twitter, the news had leaked about the price like 3 seconds before I checked. And while we were live podcasting to the Twitch gods, it was basically just news broke right then and there. Here's the price. Xbox did that whole shifty eye gif.
Yeah.
And then immediately just released all the information about it. Yeah. And it was just possibly one of the best experiences ever, just being able to do that live on the podcast. And I think that just kind of threw the whole podcast, the whole schedule we had out the window.
That's hilarious, because I just imagine you just being like, shut up, Lee, whatever you were saying, I completely tuned you out. I got so bored of whatever you were saying, I went on Twitter and I found some real news. He just slammed it on the table.
I just interrupted him or whatever he was saying, because he was busy talking about either the charts or whatever he does. Probably talking about Destiny again. I was just like, no, shut up, listen, this is important.
Man, we never have those kind of moments. It's always the day after we...
No, yeah, it's always the day after we record. They're like, guess what? News. Because it's like news always comes out on Friday in the States, apparently.
We're now doing that thing with news dropping every Monday. It worked really well for our podcast because we record on Tuesday nights.
Yep.
And so the news would kind of pop up almost a couple hours before we record. So nice and fresh and nice and all excited, running around going, look at this, it's so cool. So that worked out well. But yeah, that moment
we had like
amazing.
Tuesdays, and that was pretty much all around sales originally, and then...
Yeah, pretty much. And then it was like, now I just watch the XboxCast for the news and just pick those to put in.
It's like, all right, XboxCast.
They talked about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
This is like, what else can we add? They got a new logo. Oh, we got a new logo. What?
Oh, wait. They played that game? I should probably play that game.
Problem is, there's so many episodes where I'm talking to you and I'm just like, damn, I really like the sound of that game. Then I'll play it the week after.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like... We've probably just had like 2 episodes if somebody's like just catching up of, Oh, so Matt's played this game this week? Oh, Cameron played it the week after.
It's like, wow, his opinion is very similar. What a surprise.
Oh man.
I can be original.
I should play Kingdom Hearts. You're right. You're right, Spawn. I need to go back and
Kirby would be spinning in his new four-wheel drive car.
He would be. He'd be not. Yeah, well, he still has that challenge on TA to beat me in it. He still hasn't popped a single achievement, so I'm still winning.
Jeez.
I'm actually going to talk a little bit. I'm actually going to reference Kingdom Hearts when I talk about what I've been playing this week. Which actually, speaking of which, we should probably move on to.
I was going to say, I just want to quickly touch base on the xCloud story.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so the only reason I'm touching base on the xCloud story is because TA recently picked up some strange Xbox Cloud gaming-specific achievement lists for Scarlet Nexus and what appears to be Taiko. I fucking love Taiko.
Whatever.
It's the only reason I still have a Switch is Taiko.
Okay, sure.
You don't understand. I'll put 70 down the couch, put a movie on next to me, give her the Switch, put Taiko on. It's like, all right, cool. I'll just play the drums. And she doesn't argue with it. She's completely peaceful. It's just pure. It's amazing.
All right.
And addicting.
It's interesting to see that they might be doing separate lists. That's really going to kick us in the ass, though, when it comes to having to play games, because that means if you say, oh, I'm going to play the cloud version, it's like, well, it's a different list. So,
and
maybe the achievements carry over. Who knows, right?
It might be the case too. Like when TA goes down, like it did yesterday, us actually relying on TA, trying to check what goes where.
Yeah, which version is this? Do I have to restart the whole thing? Is it cross-compatible? What do I? Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to play on my xCloud, and it just pops an achievement on a different list. Oh, well,
it's like, well, I played 5 different of Scarlet Nexus. Now I don't know which version I was playing because they all just say Scarlet Nexus on my tag. I've unlocked 3 achievements and 2 of them, and I'm scared to press the button.
I feel we're gonna run into some weird, strange bug, and something's gonna be unobtainable in the cloud version.
That's why I'll wait. But I guess technically it is a different console, different setup. But no, whatever. Do you want to talk about the Game Pass stuff?
It's just in a server farm. That's
it's true.
Yeah.
But the setup is different.
Yeah. And if I was going to quickly say, if you haven't heard of Taiko, it might still be on sale on the Switch for like $15 this week. It's usually $90. Just don't buy a drum kit because they're fucking pricey.
Yeah. No shit.
So I was going to quickly touch base on that, and I was going to quickly say about the Diamonds one, which was basically they did a collab between. Fuck, I can never pronounce the name.
Which one?
Swarovski or the Diamonds?
Zavorsky Diamonds?
Yeah. So they're doing a special 20 years of Halo with a Master Chief helmet and a G-sword.
It looks cool. It's also very tacky. It's real fucking tacky. But hey,
I think I'm probably the only person though that had a nan that just had a full display cabinet of this kind of stuff.
Right.
She doesn't anymore, and I was just thinking about it and just like, man, I really wish she did, because this was the kind of thing that you could just
Zavorsky? Zavorsky. What?
Crystals.
Oh, crystals? Whatever.
Crystals, whatever.
I
I don't know jewelry from. I'd like watch. That's cool. Yeah. Anything. All the female listeners are just like, no, not having Navarro. This fuck you.
I'm suddenly remembering that episode of The Simpsons where he has a watch that has so many jewels in it that doesn't actually work. Anyway, do you want to quickly go through the Game Pass stuff?
Yep. All right. Cool. There's quite a few. So the games that got added, Mind Scanners. I'll talk about what games I've been playing. Evil Genius 2, World Domination, Town Scraper, which is a really short 10-minute, like peaceful, like unpacking in terms of like building a town kind of game. Generation Zero, if you want to play that with me and Alex, feel free to. So far, we've had added Anvil, Archvale, Final Fantasy 13-2, Lawn Mowing Simulator, Rubber Bandit, Stardew Valley, with a PC stack as well. Warhammer 40k Battle Sector. December 7th, we'll have Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, which is getting Kinect support.
Sure, why not? Why not?
Yep. December 8th, Halo Infinite. I'm going to wake up on December 9th at 5 a.m. and play that on Legendary. It's going to be fucking great. One Piece, Pirate Warriors 4, December 9th. December 14th, Aliens Fireteam Elite, and Among Us.
On console, yeah.
On console. Leaving Game Pass, we have Beholder, The Dark Pictures Man of Medan, Guacamelee 2, Wilmot's Warehouse, Onto the End, Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. We recommend Unto the End. I think it's a pretty boring game, but like it's quick as 3 to 4 hour completion.
Is it? I haven't played it yet, but it's on.
I can't remember. Somebody said it was pretty dull.
I know it's pretty short at least.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Shortest one out of the list. Games that would probably recommend, I'd say Guacamelee 2 and Man of Medan.
Yeah, I would say so. I didn't really get on with Beholder. It's a pretty good game, but it's not really my kind of game. And Ukulele and Impossible Lair apparently is good, but has some potential. The sort of platinum achievement for getting all the achievements can glitch, and there's no way to fix it. Yeah. So I'm just not going to bother.
Just like roll the dice.
Yeah, no.
Saying that, if you do want to get Ukulele, I've seen like some really cheap sales as well if you run out of time. But yeah.
All right, let's get into what we've been playing then. Kyle, do you want to start with you?
Yeah, so I've pretty much just been playing Halo Infinite multiplayer. That's it. Nothing else exciting.
All right, we talked a little bit about it last week in terms of the stuff going on around the multiplayer. Do you have any thoughts?
Look, can I add to your thing? Fuck capture the flag. That fucking match before we jumped onto the podcast was horrendous.
Oh, it was amazing. I love it when the guys just go invisible and hide out in the corners, waiting for you to walk past and then just slam you in the back. You go, oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Thanks.
Just like, I'm going to help Kyle out. Oh, he's already dead. Wait, I'm dead. Fuck.
Yeah. You spawn and you walk around a corner, suddenly some guy appears and hits you in the face and you die. Going, oh, nice. Thanks. Good morning. Yeah. So yeah, Halo Infinite multiplayer. It's here for a long time, the Battle Pass. So it's meant to be a slog. It's meant to be rewarding you for playing a lot. I can understand the complaints for it, but I'm of the mindset that I'm going to be playing this game. All the cosmetics you're giving me is just free stuff on top. I'm here to shoot noobs in the face, to die lots, to bring my team down, and to lose the flag quite often. I mean, that's my job.
That's the Halo way. That's the Halo experience.
Having a lot of fun with it, loving it to absolute bits. But I don't understand why people feel like they need to be able to go from 0 to 100 in the Battle Pass within a week. To me, that defeats the purpose. The Battle Pass is like a progression system you work towards. It reminds me of like the Sea of Thieves sort of progression system. You're working towards stuff the whole time. It's not over in just one sitting. Because if it's over in just one sitting, what are you playing for?
Yeah, just for sure. Yeah, I could definitely see that. What do you? Yeah,
I was gonna say, I think when they like having the first match 300 XP by completing, what is it? 300, 250, 200. No,
300 and then 200, 200, 100, 100, 100, and then 50. Because there's 7 games you have to play to max it out or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's pretty fair, like how they've added that in.
Yeah. It means each day you could possibly go up a level. So that gives you about 100 days if you're playing 7 games a day. There will be those mad people who sit down and bash out 0 to 100 within a day. Power to them.
Shadowed Slow.
yeah, Shadowed Slow is like, yeah.
I'm not that type of player. I want to go in and bash some stuff and, oh, look, I got a new hat. Put the new hat on, play some more. And then the rewards to me don't really matter much because everyone looks the same. It's all cosmetics. If it was something like pay to win, like Call of Duty sometimes has those loot boxes where you get a better gun, then I could understand the frustration of it's making you want to pay to win.
I guess, yeah. So I guess my follow-up question from that is, how do you feel about the fact that not everything, not like, obviously they are obviously just cosmetics, but those are obviously important to people. Not to myself, but like I understand the appeal. How do you feel about the fact that there are some cosmetics that you can't earn essentially, even if you like played your 7 games, you get all the way through the Battle Pass, there's still a bunch of them that are like gotta open up the wallet and pay for them.
Got to pay for. To me, that's pretty standard. I mean, I'm a Gears player. You always look at Gears. You go into the store, they have specials where you buy iron to buy the skins to get an achievement. So Gears has always been something like that. So for me, the Halo is not so different.
That's fair. I can see that. I really feel like the only difference of that is that like this is, I guess it's free to play, right? So they got to make the money somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's a free to play game. They got to do something about it. And comparatively, I think someone compared it to Apex Legends, where for $90 Australian or something, you get 4 skins. And they're going, for $90 in Halo or something, you can apparently get all the skins. So comparatively, Halo is the good guy in terms of it. Did they have to do it? It's up in the air. I mean, a lot of people are jumping into Halo because it's free. So it's a really good move by Microsoft. And they had to do something to sort of build that out and make sure it's got a lifespan ahead of it. If they had locked it behind campaign and just gone, you either do Game Pass or you buy it outright for multiplayer, I think it would still be just as big personally. It's Halo. It's the juggernaut of console shooters, you know?
I can see that.
So,
Gary in the chat is vehemently disagreeing about Halo.
Yeah, him and Lee, for some reason, just never click with Halo multiplayer. But for me, this is the first time I've actually played Halo multiplayer, believe it or not.
Right.
I tried Halo CE on the 360 with a friend who spent his entire life remapping the controls and then teaching himself how to play Halo CE blindfolded. So he knew where every single spawn was.
Right.
And basically my intro to Halo multiplayer was playing Halo CE multiplayer against one other person on a map where you spawn and headshot. And then as soon as you spawn to a different place, headshot, because he knew where all the spawn points were and which order they would spawn in.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
No, that was great. That turned me off Halo multiplayer forever. So this is the only time that I've actually jumped into Halo multiplayer with randoms. And my friends can attest, even Simone can say, when I get into Halo multiplayer, man, I just start trash talking.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Like, I'm not even got a mic on or anything. I'm just trash talking to the TV. No one can hear me. It's just, it makes you feel so good. You're just like, yeah, boy, yeah, take this punch to the face. I'll shoot you in the head. Yeah, and look at my gravity hammer. I'll smash you. And here's my energy sword up your.
You just gotta get your squats in, so you get your teabagging.
I've seen some really good like kills too, and then just like the ninja outfit just bowing.
Yeah,
like
there's there's a lot of good stuff.
Have you seen the new way of communicating where people crouch code?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crouch code to get daily challenges done.
Yeah. Okay.
What was it, like Gene Park shared something on Twitter? It was just like we had to use the good old crouch communication just to communicate that I needed to get the odd ball.
Yeah.
Like all the team members, like the opposite team, run around them and they all start crouching as well. It reminds me of those days of Destiny when you'd go back to the tower and someone would be standing in the menus and people would just stand behind him and crouch.
Yeah.
And when he'd start walking, everyone would just follow him in this long trail, and he'd turn around and start crouching, and then everyone would just get in a circle and just crouch.
You did crouching, we did stacking. We'd get people just to try and jump on each other's heads in the tower.
That was amazing.
Good times.
It's so good. Yeah, but I think it's definitely Destiny. And Destiny PvP has got me into this Halo multiplayer. I mean, without Destiny PvP, Lee can attest, I was dragging him into PvP almost every night for about 3 years. Playing until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, just PvP.
Damn.
Going, one more game. And Lee'd be like, I've got to go to bed, bro. No. We're so close to winning. Good times. But yeah, that's basically all I've been playing. I've been wanting to get back into different games, into trying something else. And Before We Leave has just come to Game Pass. And looking at that, I'm going, I just want to play that. There's something about that game that's just, I want to just sit down, cup of tea, and just play a nice, relaxing city builder, managing people. You go chop down this tree, you go kill the animal, you go build a rocket. You know, something about that is just fun, nice and calm compared to Halo.
It looks quite nice, but I wanted to dive it last night, but I'm like, it's a long slog.
Yeah, it's 100 hours or so to complete or something like that.
At least, yeah.
It's another Frostpunk, which is also another really good game, but really, it's a long time to complete.
I need to look at a few reviews first before I do it. Like Frostpunk, I would be happy to make that jump on because I've dived it before, but
right.
Yeah.
What about you, Cameron? What have you been playing?
Halo Infinite.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about this.
No, I like just to add to that. I love how they've done the XP now, that I could just jump on, do 7 matches, and then just not worry about it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like if I make it a daily habit of just doing, all right, an hour of Halo, Battle Pass will be fine over 6 months.
I mean, it's not going away either, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
The Battle Pass is always going to be there.
So yeah, Halo Infinite, Town Scraper, which I said before. Have you had the chance to play it yet? Or
Yep, I ran through it. Yeah, it was all right.
10-minute game. It kind of gave me the same, like I mean, very short completion, but had the same kind of feel as Unpacking without the story. Like just that kind of relaxing game, though.
I mean, it was a relaxing game. I don't really. I mean, I see, it kind of has it has nice music, and there's no real time pressure to do anything. But I think you're giving Unpacking too little credit, or you're giving.
I'm giving this too much credit.
Too much credit.
I mean, like it's 10 minutes. End of the day, Achievement Hunter's going to play it anyway.
True.
Mind Scanners.
Yes, I've been interested in this. This looks really cool.
So I started playing it last night. I have not got an achievement yet. And I'm kind of like sitting on it. Like I'm playing it, but I'm kind of hoping somebody comes out with a guide quick because I want to just breeze through it and just enjoy it for the story and that.
Yep.
It.
What kind of game is it? I don't know anything about it. So.
Papers, Please, but it's not.
Okay. Right.
It has the. It has the inspiration from Papers, Please.
Right.
That kind of like you're pretty much in terms of the story, you're stuck in a sanctuary situation, which is their country and all that, and then just the divide from the outside to the inside. Yeah. So essentially, what you're doing in Mind Scanners is you're a mind scanner and you're giving psych evaluations to patients.
Oh, that sounds thrilling.
Yeah. So the first subject, client, mentally ill person.
Patient.
Patient?
Yeah.
I was just going through all the other words first. Thinks he's a tree.
Okay, yep.
Yep, which is totally normal. So essentially what you have to do first is pick take note of his conversation. Pick the, basically a multiple choice of what fits his personality traits.
Do you use single leaf or double leaf paper?
God damn it. Moving along. I'm trying to think what the options were, but essentially whatever, for something like that, identity crisis would be the one you pick out of the options.
So you need you're basically diagnosing people.
Yeah, so diagnosing people basically gives you 3 different options. It's fitting that personality trait to what their mental illness is at that stage. And then based off that, you might get say it's like a string of 6 characters, but it might be let's just number them, yeah? Say 1, 4, 1, 5, 7. Then you will use the devices that you lock over time. So there was an audio device where you just listen to the beats, and then you're using that to cure them. So then you're getting rid of that number that corresponds to that device.
Oh, okay.
So then it will bring that pattern forward, and then you'll have the ones forward, so it makes it easier to do that device that matches that, if that makes sense.
Kind of. So it's like a little mini game thing where you just go.
So it's half of it is having that conversation with your patient, coming to a conclusion that, all right, he thinks he's an oak tree. He's clearly having an identity crisis. There was a woman that had a robot, thinking that she had a baby that was a robot. The whole time this is happening, you are identifying there's a terrorist group, Papers, Please, where they're basically saying, well, you're doing harm to your patients. You're curing them, but are you actually getting rid of more personality traits that you should have been? There was a very nice commentary on game collectors or action figure collectors.
Hoarders, you mean? Yeah.
Hoarders, yep. And I was like, all right, personal attack, fuck you. But no, I played for an hour last night.
Totally sane. Let them go. Yeah.
Played it for an hour last night. The only issue I have with it is Papers, Please, you're going against a time limit too. Sorry, I should explain to everybody. Papers, Please was a game that came out on Steam 5? Probably ages ago.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah. Where essentially you're taking identification documents.
For a border crossing.
For a border crossing, yeah. It's essentially like that, but it's split between the fact of you're doing that diagnosis on the patient first, and then you're treating them.
Right.
Papers, Please, like, you just have that counting down clock.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Mind Scanners, you have 200 minutes at the start of the day. You visiting the patient might be 60 minutes. So that's taken away from your score. So you're at 140. And then when you start treating the patient, that's when your time goes down. Right. So you might get to the end of the day, but you've only treated like 1/3 of the issues with this patient.
Right.
Then you'll have to do it the next day, have to travel to that patient again, which might be on the other side of town now and be 100 seconds, and then just trying to do that resource management with time inside of treating your patients.
Right. Interesting.
The only problem I've had so far is I'm not really good when it comes to audio cues. Like, I know
I'm screwed then. I'm half deaf as is, so it's going to be really difficult.
Like, concerts are ruined by hearing, but it's essentially you're identifying Morse code and then inputting it into this device. That's the one I've struggled with the most. The rest of them are like, turn this light on, turn the dial to 3. What else was there? There was one where you're like dragging the dials up and down to get a keyword and then saying whether it was a positive or negative association with that mental illness.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, right.
like you might come up with a rational where you would say that's a negative, and then that would get taken away. And then if you get any of them wrong, you just get penalized with time, which just adds that time pressure onto it.
Right. And so is there any... So can you run out of time in the games? Like, is there like a...
If you run out of time, what happens is 6 credits gets removed from your daily salary, similar to... It's very Papers, Please, but instead of a border crossing, doing the... Doing
so
it
sounds
really fun. It's from the same publisher that did Yes, Your Grace. That's why I immediately jumped on it. I hope that there will be a pretty good guide coming out soon, because the patient's obviously the same. So at least from the initial treatment, not from the treatment, the diagnostic side of things. Sorry, diagnosis. Can't speak today. You'll be able to identify them pretty easily. Like, it doesn't do a really good job explaining stuff going out the first time. And then, like, you clue in, like, all right, cool, you're associating with that with the mental illness. But really good game. I know that there's a hard run-through achievement. So,
okay.
And multiple endings.
Cool. So, okay. I wonder how long the game is. It'll be interesting to see.
I'm going to spend more time with it. Other than that, I joined a Discord server that is purely for Assassin's Creed boosting, which has been great. I got all the achievements done for Black Flag minus whatever that sequence multiplayer one is. Wolfpack, that's it. And then just getting to level 55. I'm already at like level 29 from like 2 sessions of like 3 hours.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So getting through it.
So really productive. And then we're going to do Brotherhood on Sunday. Other than that, I've been playing Origins and Odyssey. I don't really play that much Xbox on my 4K TV in the lounge room, but I did for Odyssey, and oh my fucking god, it's beautiful. I'm just waiting for my monitors to come for that. And then it's been relatively easy in most part because I did the level 99 glitch when we were talking about it on RGS.
I thought the enemies scaled with you if you did that.
They
though.
do, and there's still some weird spots where it it shows as 99 for every enemy or 95. Yeah, there's some spots that are still very difficult, but then a lot of it's just a cakewalk.
Okay.
So, but I might be just doing missions that are like earlier on. So I've been just trying to hit storage just to get through it as quickly as possible. And then because I'm weird, I have Origins installed on this one and Odyssey is installed in the lounge room. Been playing Origins. I've been enjoying it, except for the fact that I jump off towers and then I immediately die because I've been playing Odyssey and I have the ability to do the roll to save myself.
Yep, you're playing them in the wrong order, so you've only got yourself to blame there.
100% it, but...
In your opinion, is Origins worth playing?
Not compared to Odyssey.
Oh, I don't know. I mean...
Because I got Origins when it was like at $15 for the entire gold pack on one sale.
Yeah, I did that too and played through it all. And I really, really enjoyed it. Like, are you interested in the Assassin's Creed lore and story? or are you just there to just stab people, basically?
I like hardy, stabby.
Yeah, okay, so that's okay, so you can just play whatever later. You can play like Valhalla, I guess, but
Yeah.
like
Origins, it's like Predator. There's gonna be snakes. There's gonna be fucking alligators that come after you. There's gonna be hippos. It's just like, all right, doing like this little piece of story, just out of nowhere. Hippo fucking just comes charging at you.
Egypt's a dangerous place, mate.
But Odyssey is just like, all right, cool. There's like nothing I have to worry about.
Except for mercenaries, yeah.
Except for mercenaries, but yeah.
Yeah, Odyssey's been on my two playlists for so long. But it's just finding the time.
The only reason I'm playing Odyssey is so I can get up to the DLC that has Persephone in it.
Right. Well, I mean, you need to do it for your collection anyway, right?
Yeah, well, that's true. But, yeah, and the one other thing I was going to say about Origins is there was the piece of... I don't think it's really a spoiler. I'm like level 20. No, the story piece where I think it was like a side quest. Little girl with the guards.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you consider that a spoiler?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's cool. It's interesting, but I don't know if it's like, yeah.
I'm just, I was, any time that happens in a game, whether it be Yes or Grace or fucking this,
yeah,
I get pissed off.
Well, yeah. It's like
don't kill kids in video games.
Yes, ideally, do not kill children.
That's some really solid life advice there, guys.
Yeah, just put it out there.
It's like, who's your audience that you just have to kind of just throw that out there just in case?
I'm sure there's like one or two in there that we kind of just have to be like.
Well, I mean, Charlotte does listen through this on the edit, so I figured I'd just remind her.
Because I mean, so far the top tips of your week have been, cannibalism is bad and don't kill kids.
Mm-hmm. No, cannibalism isn't bad. It's using resources.
Yeah, no, because
not being wasteful.
We don't support cannibalism and we do not support killing children.
No. We support cannibalism. We don't support murder.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, sure. You know what? Fine. That's fine.
Poor Matt's just given up.
That's fine. At this point, yeah. Cameron, what else have you been playing?
That's pretty much. It is basically Assassin's Creed all week again, and a little bit of Black Flag until I get to the point of like, I have to do 100% for these missions. I don't care for this right now. I'll come back to it later.
Yeah.
The newer games are so much better than having the free choice. I do not like that point 3 onwards where it's just like, no, we want you to remain stealthy or...
I mean, yeah.
I just want to go in and swing a sword and just...
Yeah, but that's not like they want to incentivize you not tackling every mission the exact same way as being a murder hobo. Like, just coming out stinking of rum, just be like, all right, I'm going to pick a fight with literally the entire town, and I'm just going to leave there's going to be a new plague from all the dead bodies. It's like, just how about you just sneak your way through, like, because you're supposed to be following historical events, and the pirate didn't murder an entire fort worth of Englishmen, all right?
How do you know?
Because the game said so. Jesus.
We already actually. I forgot to add the one story piece that I was going to talk about this week was that they can't reconstruct Notre Dame using
no surprise there.
Yeah, it's like the explanation of it is obviously it was like altered from their designs. So it's Assassin's Creed friendly, which makes sense.
Yeah, so you can climb it. Yeah, exactly. All right.
God, I'm so many watch lists for this kind of comments.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, Well, to be fair, you've only got yourself to blame.
1670 for the week.
Oh, that's not too bad. I have really only played two things. I played Fe.
EA game, yeah?
See, one of those EA originals indie games that they were trying to push was like that and Call of the Sea. No, not Call of the Sea. What was it? Was it?
No, it was. I know the one you're referring to.
The one on the boat.
Is it Deep?
I don't remember, but it doesn't matter.
I'll look it up.
But yeah, so I've had that on my tag. Like I've popped a couple of achievements in it for some competition here or there, and yeah, it's it was a game that like it's a very freeform platformer where it's a kind of Metroidvania where it's like, okay, you collect crystals to earn abilities, and what you do is you're a little creature who's trying to stop a bunch of robots from enslaving his forest of different creatures. So you go around learning the languages of the different. You help various animals, and then the alpha or primarch or whatever of the animals basically teaches you the language so you can communicate with them, and they have like abilities. So it's like, one of them is like an owl, and the owls allow you to they'll take you to different places in the levels, so you don't have to kind of like a fast travel system. You've got ones who have like fan spins up, so you can go, when you learn the glide ability, you can go up like streams. It's like quite a simple game. There's no dialogue. It's all told through kind of like context clues and that kind of stuff. And the story is kind of it's a game that I enjoyed playing it, but enjoyed it less the more I played it. Unfortunately, it was like had a decent start. I was like, okay, cool world. You learn the ability to climb trees quite early, and you get like a really good view, and it's very beautiful. I really like the art style, but it's like the platforming is not very tight. It's quite like it's like, okay, I want to double jump here and I want to land here, and it's like, no, not going to happen. It's like, okay, well, I want to do the glide ability. It's like, okay, now you're gliding. It's like, okay, well, I wanted to glide about 5 seconds ago before I was halfway down the mountain. And so it's like it doesn't control really well, which is like in a platformer is like so key, because there isn't really any combat either. It's really just kind of like the platforming is really the key thing. And there's also, you collect crystals to learn abilities. You have most of the abilities. I think there's 75 crystals, and you'll have pretty much all the abilities by like 40. I'd finished the game with 36, somewhere between 30, like about 40 crystals or so. And then there was a few more that I got to unlock, like another ability that allows you to like do like a fast glide. But I had pretty much all the abilities learned at 50, and then I had to slog through 25 more crystals, like exploring areas with a really bad map, with like not a great, like the fast travel system like doesn't really work very well. And even like the counters are off. So like the more I played the game, the less fun I was having, the less I was enjoying it. Which is a real shame, because like I think it's an interesting idea, and like it's cute, and it's quite whimsical, and the music's nice, but it just doesn't have the staying power, or it doesn't really like stick the landing in terms of the platforming and the collectibles and that kind of stuff. Because it just kind of feels like if they just left it at 50, like I would have been like, cool, I got like 38 of them throughout the whole game. I'll go get the last 12 because I obviously missed them, or they're hidden, or there's other ways to get them, and then I can just be done with it. But I just I spent another like 3 or 4 hours playing it, and it was like just not really. Just wasn't really speaking to me. And then the other thing that I started was We Happy Few, which is what I wrote a song about this week. Man, this game's bad.
Are you playing just the main game, or are you playing the DLCs?
I've only played the main game so far.
Okay.
I'm going through the story.
Wait till you get to the DLCs, because they're bad as well.
Oh, good. Fantastic. So the idea is essentially that this game is built on what looks like the Dishonored engine. In fact, it might be the actual Dishonored engine, the Arcane engine. I don't know. But it plays like a Dishonored without powers, with some Bioshock sort of 60s style Art Deco kind of, like very much like swinging 60s UK, like Invasion of the Brits kind of thing, with like sort of Beatles stylings, with like lots of weird like psychedelic colors and that kind of stuff. But it's mainly
there
like
are drugs, Matt.
There are a couple of drugs. There's a few of them. I just playing through this game is a chore. Like the game's also completely randomly generated, or for the most part. Like when you start the game, it's like, okay, you're gonna be going to these areas and doing missions, but everything in between those areas, like the towns that you're going into, are randomly generated, and it shows because it's just copied and pastes assets everywhere. The dialogue is bad. The story, I wasn't a huge fan. The story was okay. But playing the game sucks. The combat's bad. The stealth is bad. It's really, really glitchy. I had a part where I was sneaking around in a house for a story objective, and one of the bobbies just like, I walked into a room and he was just standing in the corner. He shouldn't have been able to get into the room, but he's like, oh, hey, I saw you. I'm going to arrest you and beat you up. I was like, oh, was that supposed to happen? I went back and did it again. No, he wasn't there. It's like, no, he just glitched into the house. And yeah, everything about this game is just really disappointing.
I
yeah.
I was gonna say, did you have any issue with like keys and that as well? Because that was one of my biggest issues, sneaking into like that army base.
Yeah.
I searched for so fucking long for a key that I had to backtrack for like 20 minutes.
Oh, really? No, yeah, I didn't have any ishes with keys. Although I had an issue there where I was like, where am I supposed to go through because he's supposed to sneak it through the dump and he's supposed to climb onto the roof. And I'm like, no signposting.
There's no signposting.
Yeah, like the signposting, the whole thing was like, oh, you can distract enemies by throwing things. Barely works. Like everything about this game is just like, feels like really, really ramshackle. And I'm just massively disappointed with it. And then I get to the end of Arthur's story. Like, I get out and then it's like, cool. Now you're going to have to play through with another character who has different abilities, who's less fun to play with. We've taken away some of the useful abilities and given you some useless ones. And now we've also given you some extra shit to deal with. And also we've now hidden the whole map again, so you need to rediscover it because you're a different character. And like it reminds me of when I was playing through Kingdom Hearts. What is it? Is it? No, the other one in that collection. Was it the? I can't remember if it's Dream Drop Distance or I think it might.
Birth by Sleep.
It could be Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
Whatever the one's collectible where you play as the three Keyblade wielders, right?
Yeah, Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, and so you go through and you finish one of them, and it's like, okay, now you're back to playing with a different character. Also, you don't have any of their abilities, so you're basically starting from scratch. The story's a bit different, but you're essentially starting the entire game from scratch because we didn't want to make that many levels. And it's like, that's how I feel, where I'm like, I've done all this stuff and I've done all this, like I've made sure I've earned like heaps of money and done all this stuff. It's like, okay, we're resetting all of that, including the map and everything, and just making you play through it again. And I know that there's another act afterwards where I have to play as a third character and basically redo it. So I've made a little bit of progress into Act 2, but I'm really, really not enjoying it. It's really like pulling teeth, and I'm going to try and find something else to play in the meantime, just kind of to get me through it. But I'll go back and finish it eventually. It's got a massively high TA ratio. I think it's like a 5.1 or something.
The DLC that I played, it's that female doctor's like two apprentices, like the two guys that are there in that building, and that was all right for when I played it, like in terms of story. But the whole DLC just felt like a tutorial.
Right.
Like just a 3-hour tutorial, and it's like, cool, we're giving you like this new feature like 20 minutes in.
Okay.
It's like, well, I just want to get through. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much all I've been playing. I mean, other than Fear 2, I've been on the Fear 2 train. I've been boosting that every day just about. So I am at, I think, 78% of the way through it. And I'm going to be boosting it pretty much this entire weekend if possible. So hopefully next week I'll be done with it, and that'll be great because I started that game in 2009. So it's been a long time coming, and I've been losing sleep over it. So it's like it'll be good to get it done. But that puts me. What does that put me at? Something like 4,000 or something like that this week. Nothing.
Yeah, I think it was like 4,300 when I checked before.
Nothing too impressive. All right, well let's get into our leaderboard then. Cameron, what have you? Who we on there? Who's on the list this week?
So this week we have Kamikitsu. I think it's the first time she's been up in number 1. It's good. 11,365. We've got Volga Latin in second at 7,913. And then we've got Kruger with like 6 evil X's.
Yes.
5,920. You're playing Scott Pilgrim.
I was playing a bit of Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, I talked about it last week. But yeah, so Charlotte and I have been running through that. It's still same game. It's fun.
Yeah. Also, I don't think we've said it in a while. If you want to join the leaderboard, we have a leaderboard on TA. Feel free to send me a message if you want to be on there as well. It's still got like around 50 people. And yeah,
we never see ourselves on top of the list anymore now that we added all these people. So it's fine.
Ooh, where am I?
Where are you?
I know Simone was in last this week. I do remember that.
Oof. Oh, Simone, you're lost. Oh, no.
That's rough.
But it is in 0. It is in 0. So that's
okay. Well, that's good at least.
Where are you, Kyle?
It's a good question.
Where are any of us really at the end of the day?
43rd. 43rd.
43rd.
That's not too bad.
You're just behind Kingsman by 5 gamer score.
Oh, Kingsman. Okay. Cool. Right. Got to get 5 gamer score tonight.
Easy.
Just overtake him. Yeah, sweet. I think we should dive into community questions.
Yes, absolutely.
So, because fucking everybody in our community teases me, Heavy Moogles, what is the best flavor of Maxibon and why is it honeycomb? I wouldn't know. I haven't eaten Maxibon for like fucking 3 months.
Maxibons are good. I haven't had one in a while either. Honeycomb is very, very good, but I'm very I think honeycomb. Yeah, cookies and cream is my go-to, but that might just be because that's the only one I find like in the store. But if I'm at like a dairy or like like a convenience store, they usually will have honeycomb, and I'll usually get that.
I can't remember the last time I had the honeycomb one. Yeah, cookies and cream is just the safe bet for me. But if you're like Alex and think that a double-sided biscuit one is, you can get out. Like I'm not having that. I'm not having that as part of this community.
So Simone asked, "What's a Maxibon?" It's essentially an ice cream sandwich.
Like one side has like cookie crumb biscuit, the other side is like choc top, just with ice cream inside. Yeah, ice cream sandwich.
It's a very exciting ice cream sandwich.
Also, why are we saying like until they sponsor us, we shouldn't be talking about this, guys?
Yeah, it's actually true. Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be talking about it until they give us some Maxibon for free.
I should have said, what is the best flavor of nondescript ice cream brand? Anyway, Isaac asks, "Oh, Kyle, have you had Maxibons before? Sorry, have you had nondescript ice creams before?"
Oh, yeah, nondescript ice cream flavor number 12. I think I have. I was racking my brain while you guys were talking about it, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And the only thing that jumped into my head was something that looked like a Magnum or nondescript ice cream number 5. But that is not what you described with number 12. So maybe I haven't.
Oh, well, we'll have to change that then. We'll have to get some nondescript, very exciting ice cream sandwiches.
I've got to say, I've been having the Halo Top ice creams because they're like only 300 calories per tub.
It's mainly because they're air. Yeah, there's not really a lot in there, right?
They're pretty good. They're still like $9 for a fucking tub of ice cream. But
they whip it up so it feels like you're eating something. Yeah.
All right. Isaac, hey guys, from the day you started to the day you got the completion, what game took the longest to complete? Also, what game completion do you feel took the longest? How do I check this?
So you'd have to check your completion times, and it would be quite difficult, but I already actually know mine, thankfully. If I can find the version of it that is the correct one. Give me a second. I don't know, Kyle, what about you while we're frantically
I am a filthy casual. I get about 5 achievements into a game and then I abandon it for the very next shiny thing that comes along.
Fair. So you've never completed a game in your life. That's understandable.
The only games I have completed is those really bad games you get on sale for 99 cents that take you an hour or so.
Yep.
Like that game Where the Bees Make Honey.
Oh my God. Oh God, that game was so bad. And then they released the DLC, but the DLC put a chapter in the middle of the game instead of at the end. So you have to play through the whole thing again.
Even worse. And then that other game, One Leaves.
Yeah, the free one. Yeah,
one that tries you that at the end of playing the game and getting all the achievements, you actually want to smoke.
Yeah, so you're like, actually, no, I need to shorten my life so I have less memory of this.
Yeah,
because you have to play that game like 10 times or something crazy, exactly for all the achievements. So, oof.
Yeah, it's insane. So I'll just have a look. My completion percentage is actually 44%. Not too shabby.
That's actually okay.
But it's all just trash, essentially. I mean, I haven't completed a Gears game yet, but then who has?
No, true. Yep.
Halo MCC is my longest at 830 hours.
Yeah,
and that was from the 11th of November 2014 to the 11th of August 2021.
Wow.
The longest feeling one would be Forza Horizon 2, just for that last achievement taking 4 weeks. Yep.
I'm going to say in the longest period of time between completion, for me, it's Doom Arcade, the original Doom, when they released it on the Xbox Live Arcade. I started that on the 17th of November, 2007. So the very first year that I owned an Xbox, and I finished it on the 19th of April last year. So yeah, do some quick maths there. That's nearly 13 years. So yeah, long time.
God, we need the kitchen sink back now, don't we?
We really do need the kitchen because that was the reason I did it. Yeah, and the one that felt the longest, I mean, Fear 2 is starting to feel like that. It's a massively long grind. There's a couple of other really long ones.
Have you got to Neverwinter in that stage? Like back when it was completed?
No, I've never completed Neverwinter.
Okay.
I've never been able to complete it. Bloodstone, the James Bond game, had a massively unnecessary online grind, like a huge one that I spent. I spent a lot of time doing it and a lot of time wrangling people to do it. So it was a very, very long ongoing process that kind of, it was on the list of like, okay, great. The other one is Dead or Alive 4 that I'm currently boosting because you can only beat an opponent 20 times per week, and after that you stop getting experience from them. So you have to find someone else to fight. So Mr. Mad Rocketansky and I have been beating each other up once a week, like meeting up for a fight club. But I've ruined it by talking about it, unfortunately.
That's okay. We'll just talk about Fight Club with the X.
No. But yeah, just again, like a lot of like I've been cleaning up a lot of the old grinds, and it feels really good to get them done. But a lot of them feel like, just wasting away the hours, not having any fun whatsoever. But I try not to start those types of games anymore.
You know what hurts? Checking this list, Warframe, I've only got 540 gamer score out of like 3,700. And I've put nearly 200 hours into it.
That sounds about right. Yep, that's Warframe for you. All right. What was the other question? One from CJ.
We'll get two more. One that I'm probably going to ignore.
Yep.
CJ, you have 1 month left in the year. Hands off Snakey. If you could drop everything, what game do you beat?
Ooh.
Probably Odyssey.
I really want to get to, before the end of the year, I want to get to Guardians of the Galaxy. Because I know Cameron was talking about how good it was. It just hasn't. It's like that and Tales of Arise are like the two that I just didn't get to this year that I really would like to. I put them on my Christmas list, so they might be my New Year's games, but we'll see how it goes.
Somebody buy it for him. It's only $50.
We'll see. Yeah.
I'll say the second question. Oh wait, Carl.
Yeah. Carl.
Your answer.
Carl's also here.
Trying to think. If I could just sit down, I would want to finish Gears Tactics. Just the story. Just the story of Gears Tactics. It's such a good game. I'm trying to just get through all these other games before I sit down and properly just devote the rest of my life to that.
I'm pretty sure that's the one. Like when it came out, Jez Corden was like praising the touch controls.
Oh right, yeah,
okay.
That makes sense.
Like apparently that has really good touch controls on xCloud.
That'll make sense.
But I mean, like Gears games.
Yeah, no one ever finishes Gears games.
No,
I mean, Gears Pop. Yeah, I'm never gonna get
too
this
soon.
completion.
Too soon. Stupid Gears Pop.
So CJ also asked, question 2, Final Fantasy XIV, hailed throughout the industry as the greatest gaming saga ever, told by industry experts, drops its latest expansion tonight to millions of eagerly anticipating players around the world. A truly magnificent culmination of game design, narrative, gameplay loop, graphics, netcode, and music. Why can this gem of game design run flawlessly on the Pony Box, but you can't even get it to download on the supposedly next-gen Series X?
Well, I mean, okay, I will just say this and we'll move on because CJ obviously is a masterclass in trolling. The discussions are being had, right? They even Phil Spencer acknowledged that they'd love to get Final Fantasy XIV on the system. The thing is, the chances are they probably have some sort of deal with Sony, and those there haven't been enough $20 notes passed across the table quite yet to get it done. I would love to play it because it looks really cool, and I hope hopefully the achievements stay easy, but I doubt it.
When I think of Final Fantasy now, I either think nostalgia or a game that's going to release in like 10 years.
I mean, that's
13 did me dirty.
That's essentially how Final Fantasy works. But
15.
Yeah.
Sorry, did me dirty.
Yeah, 14 looks really good, and I'd love to play it.
No. I think I replied back to this one just like I thought I was looking at Discord, not Twitter.
Yes.
Oh god, there's some cringe Twitter comments about Xbox.
I don't want to hear them.
Yeah, no, keep your Twitter out of my podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I stay off Twitter for a reason.
I wrote some completion shoutouts.
Yes, absolutely. We've got is it Dillyman?
Yeah, I think so.
Dillyman with Spider-Man 3 completed on the 360, which is like, I know it sounds movie license game, whatever.
80 to 100
Spider-Man 3 is, Spider-Man 3 is really hard. It's a really tough game. So I've never actually seen anyone complete it. So that's very, very impressive. We've got Red, who finished Demon Slayer, which he's recommended to everyone. He says it's really, really good. It's got a couple of tough points.
If you have not got a recommendation from Rob, where have you been?
Yeah, true. Very true. Actually, it's a very good point. I recommended back to him to play through the Naruto Ultimate Storm collection because that's essentially the same developers, very similar style of game. Yeah. Our very own Charlotte has hit her 100-day streak for achievements, which is crazy impressive. She's been super, super onto it with that. She even reminds me to get my achievement for the day because the whole reason she got 100 is because she's trying to beat my record of 164. Unfortunately for her, I am also looking at beating my record of 164 days.
So she's telling you to get your daily achievement, but then she's looking to overtake you.
Well, okay, so yeah, she was originally she was like, "Oh, I want to overtake your 168 day achievement streak." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea." And then I did that big push when Fisto challenged me, and I played so many games that I just happened to be building up a streak. And she noticed it. She was like, "Oh, hey, look, you're also doing a streak." I'm like, "Oh, am I?" I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm going to beat the 168 days." This thing is that she might beat 168, but I'm going to beat that one too. So
God, you've all turned into mad iPad eyes.
She's only 20 days behind me in terms of streak. So if I mess up, like that's it, I'm done. So I need to be a little bit careful. She's been pushing really hard at it though. 161. Sorry,
I don't even bother. I just know there's that one day of the year that's going to fuck me, where family drops in or something happens.
Sorry, 161. Sorry, I was again. Charlotte has been keeping a closer eye on it than I have.
I just like the fact that she's calling you a dick.
I mean,
and we have a whole community of people around us just to witness it.
100%. I have a massive dick. And then also,
not sure I am.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'm just gonna let it slide. I'm not gonna.
Anyway. And we also have Mike finishing Life is Strange True Colors, which is really, really great because that's going to be my game of the year, I think. And then speaking of massive dicks, CJ is now the #1 trophy hunter in Australia. And I guess Oceania as well because there aren't really any big New Zealand cheap trophy hunters. So congratulations, CJ. I hope that your PlayStation breaks and someone overtakes you very quickly.
It's okay. There's only a pool of 10 people on the PlayStation.
Yeah, there's no run over there. It's fine. They're all there, and most of them are just bots anyway. Cameron, do you want to talk about some of the stuff coming up?
All right. All right. So at the moment we have a Christmas competition on Twitter where I'm giving away free. I talked to Xbox ANZ, and apparently you can gift a Xbox Game Pass Ultimate code to anybody in the world without having region restrictions, which is really good information to know for future competitions. So we're running a comp that is essentially 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. All you have to do is go follow pretty much all three of us on the podcast. Sorry, me, Matt, and follow Kyle as well. Like Kyle's here. Just follow Kyle. If you look, whoever I draw and you're following Kyle, I might throw in a free game. There you go. That's going to be the one thing else.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. I still got another code floating around somewhere.
Well, so don't tell them that. We want to use that for later. Anyway,
it's fine. We'll get.
So yes, just follow myself, Cameron, and Charlotte,
and then just comment either a game that makes you think of Christmas related to Xbox, or a game that has been in Game Pass that you'd like to see get a Christmas upgrade.
Santa hats and
I immediately always think of Dead Rising 4. It's the
4.
go-to Christmas game.
It kind of is, yeah. Just like Die Hard is the go-to Christmas movie.
Yeah. So next week we have our astounded guest Vudix that I'm still trying to get onto a podcast episode. So there might be a strange time for next week's episode. I'm sussing out whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. But I'll let you all know. Following that,
for the audio listeners, it'll come out at the usual time, so don't worry about that. It's just if you want to watch the live stream, basically.
And if you want to come in and ask him a question.
And Vudix is a very, very interesting individual, and definitely do not squander the opportunity if you can make it to the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Because he's it's a very unique insight into Xbox and achievement hunting.
Like, worked in game dev for so long, so he knows that kind of
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on from that, I think December 17th will be our last show for the year. Am I thinking the right Friday? Yeah.
Yes, that will be. Yeah, because
So
I'm going to be away after that. Yep.
That will be a special episode with myself, Matt, and Charlotte, and we will be essentially doing our own version of the Game of the Year Awards. Envelopes, tuxedos, tuxedo shirts.
I mean,
Christmas hats.
Sure, something festive. I'm gonna do the least amount of effort possible for this. Yes, so whatever you send
a Christmas hat. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say It's like, so you send me the Christmas bikini, I'll wear the Christmas bikini. All right, just
Christmas puppets.
No, okay. Well, you know what? Because it's Christmas, I'll let you. If you can make it work.
Game of the Year awards presented by Xmas themed puppets.
But only if the puppets are massively offensive. Like they have to be saying some really
cigarette in mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they have to be like fighting on stage, and like this turned into like a Two Ronnie sketch. All right. Anyway.
All right. Yeah. So we're gonna channel for like Game of the Year nominations. We'll pretty much use that as a bit of a community choice on what our favorite games have been for the year. And then I'm pretty sure us three will do a bit of like what our favorite terms of accessibility, like pretty much just copy all the Game of the Year award. Like
we'll watch the Game Awards with Jeff Keighley and just basically be like, yeah, he's wrong about all that. This is wrong.
100%. That's exactly what's going to happen. Saying that, we will be on break until sometime in Jan.
Yeah, because
we're still trying to toy the dates.
We'll see exactly how it's going to go, but with the way the holidays are falling, it might be.
It's hard because it falls on a week like Friday, Saturdays for like Christmas. And New Year's.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
mid-Jan, somewhere around that.
Yeah. So our first episode back might be the 14th of January.
But saying that, during the meantime, when we're off the air, we will be still doing hopefully a few spoiler casts to tide us over. I still want to record Forza Horizon 5 with somebody and just talk about cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at the spoiler on that car. That's what the episode will be.
That's exactly. It's 10 minutes. That car was nice.
Whoa.
Fuck these 2 achievements that are going to take me like 4 months to get.
Man, look at the torques on that one.
Oh, that's really getting
what
my
games have we got on the lineup?
Exactly.
We have hopefully Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Hopefully the Forgotten City.
Yeah, and probably Psychonauts as well.
Yeah. So they will be coming out the Tuesdays that we aren't live. So you're still getting content.
Yeah.
And then for our Patreons, we'll be doing a special.
Well, you know what? I've decided that I'm gonna put this out to everyone because I really want everyone to listen to this. But we're gonna do a special episode of Lights, Camera, and Action.
No.
Our
Lights, Christmas Action.
Yes. I'm doing the presenting here. I came up with the name. All right, it was my fucking brilliant idea. So for those who don't know, we have a Patreon, and I was going to talk about during the Patreon segment, but I'll do it now. We have a Patreon where we have a prize draw, and one of the other things that we do is we do a podcast that's only for our Patrons called Lights, Camera, and Action, where we take a movie that Cameron usually hasn't seen, which is most of them, and then we talk about it beforehand, go away and watch it, and then come back and do a bit of a review. Charlotte usually joins us for those, and recently, which it's been really, really good. I just put up the new Sonic one this week. So we are going to do a special episode. Usually we do video game movies, but this time we're going to do a festive movie. And the most festive Christmas movie is, of course, Die Hard. So we're going to do Fights, Christmas Action, which I think is just a brilliant fucking name. And Cameron's already done the artwork for it. So we're going to review Die Hard because Cameron's never seen it.
I think it falls into the camp of I've seen part of this movie once upon a time.
I think literally everyone has seen part of Die Hard, but I don't know too many people have actually seen all of it. So we're all going to sit down. We're going to watch Die Hard. I'm going to put that episode out to everyone, just because I'm feeling in this season of giving.
Is it on Amazon Prime? If it is, we might be able to do a watch party one night.
Oh, okay, that's a good
on
idea.
Twitch.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So again, we'll see how that goes. Again, as I'm sure the Patreons know, the Lights, Camera, and Action stuff is a bit more hit or miss. We almost lost behind the scenes stuff. I almost lost last week's episode and Lights, Camera, and Action because my computer fucked up and I lost all my files. Thankfully, we had backups, but it comes out when it comes out. We're trying to do them like twice a month, so we might have one more episode before that. But given how Christmas is going, we'll see. Also, speaking of Patreon, we've got our prize draw.
I was going to say, before you move on to that, when is the song of the week going to be Christmas themed?
When is the song? We'll do it for the Christmas episode. I will try and come up with something. Because one of my favorite reviewsicals of all time was a song done by a couple of guys singing about all I want for Christmas is Wii U, and it's amazing. It's amazing stuff. Anyway, thanks for just jumping in there, Cameron. Appreciate that. We've also talking about our Patreon. We've got our contest, and so we've drawn our winner for that. Who's going to get a copy of Cyanide Happiness Freak Apocalypse Episode 1? If you want to get in the prize draw for this month coming up, make sure you join our Patreon and you can vote. The higher tier Patreon you are, the more votes you get, the more chances you get to win. Whatever game is voted the most, we will give it to you, basically, if you win the prize draw. Simple as that. And so the winner for this month is Cavaliers07. So congratulations, mate. Really, really appreciate the support. He's been with us for a long time. So Cameron will make sure you bother Cameron, and he might get that code to you sometime in the next year or so.
If I can't get a code for you, I'll just PayPal you the money so you can buy the game.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out. So we'll also reveal the next. I don't know if we'll reveal the next prize draw next week for the patrons for December. Once we got to pick out some games and make sure everyone's aware of what we're going on.
Make sure everything's Christmas themed.
Sure, yeah. So it's just copies of Die Hard. It's Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, and Die Hard 3, and you just get mailed to.
I did not realize that was a game.
The Die Hard trilogy on the PlayStation 1. I played that all the time.
Oh. Okay.
All right, and I just want to quickly touch on the word challenge. We had a winner last week with just after the show when I told everyone there was a Sega game with Mike Zoke, who was a guest on our show a few weeks back, who correctly guessed Vector Man, which is a game that I played on an Xbox. Nobody has heard of, but everyone's played because it was part of the Sega Mega Drive collection, and people played it for 5 minutes, put the cheat code in to get the achievement, and then didn't play it anymore. But I still played it, so that counts. I've come up with a new one straight away because I want to get straight back into it because the last one lasted quite a while. This is going to be another tough one. This is a really tough one. The clue for this week is that the game title is 2 words. All right. I've already set up the bot and I've already put the clue in the Discord. So if you do the clue command, you'll see the new clues, hopefully.
Quickly, somebody type in 2 words into the Discord.
But I like no one's going to get this one first week, so this is definitely going to be one you're going to have to wait for. But start thinking about things. I'm not Cameron always gets in my case for giving away too much, so I'm not going to say anything more about it because we only get paid out.
You already gave them the answer. The game title is 2 words. Like, what else do they expect?
Okay, like that would be genius if I did that.
Anyway, it's your level of thinking, though.
This is true. Yeah, absolutely. Whether that's a compliment or an insult, you can decide. All right, you can also join us live where we do this every week on our Twitch, Hall of Gamers Pod. Otherwise, if you want to contact us, you can email us at hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com, at Hall of Gamers Pod on Twitter, discord.io/Hall of Gamers if you want to come hang out with us. And we've also got our Patreon, as I mentioned, patreon.com/Hall of Gamers. Also, if you want to be on the show and be a guest, we love having people from the achievement hunting and wider gaming community. So make sure you get in touch with Cameron. He does all of our bookings, especially last minute bookings. Good.
I feel so attacked. I didn't think. I'm sorry that our guest got COVID.
No, it's fine. It's only partially your fault. If you want to help out the podcast in other ways, you can subscribe to us on your platform of choice, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, that kind of stuff. Leave us a review, but tell us if you left a review because otherwise we won't see it. Tell your friends. Word of mouth is always the biggest thing for us. And then subscribe to us on, other platforms, YouTube, that kind of stuff. I always talk about the podcast in my gaming sessions, especially the Fear ones. And actually, I had a couple of the guys listening to it. So if you guys are listening and you made it this far, I mean, I'm fucking surprised. But appreciate it, guys. I would not be able to get through Fear 2 without you. And I appreciate you guys sitting through the show.
I was quickly going to touch base back on saying with the guests on the podcast as well. If you do want to do a spoiler cast episode with us about one of the games that you played this year that we've also played, hit us up directly because we can work around your schedule with that. It doesn't have to be a live show.
Yeah, we can, because we're pre-recording those, so that's easy enough. All right, well, let's get into our individual stuff. Kyle, you want to shout out some stuff? Shout out the Xbox Cast, where people can find you?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Before I begin, which guest was I replacing? You know, I got to find out who I was scraped from.
Pixel Street. I was hoping to get John on because he was meant to be last week, and then he, because I had personal, we moved it forward, and then he was still sick. So I was like, yeah. I mean, he had COVID, so I was
to be fair, having COVID is a pretty good excuse.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a bit extreme to avoid the podcast, but hey.
Yeah, it's like, man, I made a commitment to those people. What's the easiest way to get out of it? I know, COVID. I need to go start huffing some anti-vaxxers.
So you can find the Xbox Cast pretty much anywhere where you're listening to this podcast. Hit up the xboxcast.co.nz or just find us on Twitter. And from Twitter, you'll find out everywhere where we exist. I'm not really on Twitter anyway, so you can't find me. Well, you can find me, but I
mean, I can find you, but you're just not on.
Yeah, I don't really tweet. The Xbox Cast is more active on Twitter than anywhere else, really. So yeah, hit us up there. Go to Linktree/the Xbox Cast to find out all our links. We got a fantastic Instagram that Simone is running. Lee is doing stuff. He keeps threatening to release a newsletter, but
oh my god, yeah. I was gonna say, make sure you don't follow Lee on Twitter, otherwise you'll just be bombarded with all the news you could ever ask for, and then you don't even have to watch the podcast.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
And then just a post of just like, I don't understand this place. It's dark and confusing.
So yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, look, check out the Xbox Cast. We're dirty casuals. We're the opposite of you guys, the Hall of Gamers. We play games and forget about them almost instantly. Completions is not a word that we use often. And like I say, you know, funny first, factual second. We never let the facts get in the way of a good story. And we often just moan about technology and printers.
It's you guys have an amazing community over there. Like Cameron and I and Charlotte are almost always over there. So definitely check out their Discord. It's a great place to be. We absolutely love it.
Oh, thanks, you guys.
And Simone said she's muted Lee on Twitter, which is
fair enough. I'm about this close to doing the same thing. You know, as with the podcast on Twitter, like the official podcast that's following one of the hosts, just muting the host.
don't unfollow because that's too aggressive, but just quietly mute him. Yeah,
just quietly mute.
But also tell him you've muted him.
Yeah, tell him you've muted him, then mute him so that he can't reply. Or when he does reply, it's just, oh, I didn't get that reply. You muted.
I mean, that's the whole Twitter game though. Just like follow. It's like, yeah, I'm definitely supporting you. Mute.
Follow, mute, never retweet. Yeah. Cameron, what about you?
If you want to find me, you can catch me on Twitter, Instagram as Shadowless Edge. Started posting like achievement graphics on Instagram now, just as more content for my marketing thing, just as fun. Otherwise, pretty much Xbox TA or just boosting Assassin's Creed for the next month.
One of us.
Yeah.
All right, and you can find me on Neomaster on pretty much everything. True Achievements, Xbox, Discord. Feel free to hit me up. I'm always down for a chat, unless I'm not. And thank you again, Kyle, for filling in at such short notice. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on. You're an absolute ray of joy for this usually dreary and depressing podcast where we just talk about negative things all the time.
Thank you guys for having me. I will be the backup plan any day of the week.
Eventually, we'll just cycle through the whole Xbox cast, right? We do the same for you guys if you needed someone. And again, always a special thanks to Charlotte for being the best moderator, quality controller, and just general human being the world's ever seen. But again, thank you all for joining us for episode 20. We will catch you guys next week. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.